Stay with me. Brothers, what we doing live?
Boom. How is it going out there, my fellow world patriots? It is indeed Monday, June 15th, 2026, and I believe we're bringing to you Hold the Line episode 213. And that little ditty video there was made by none other than my co-host here, Mr. Mac. How's it going today, brother? How you been? How's the week going? What's up?
It's going great. Happy end of war in Iran, it seems like. Yeah, so we're on to peace. Great UFC day yesterday, Flag Day, it was President Trump Day. It's just been a lot going on. As you can tell, there's been a lot of comms with the end recently. So ironically, on President Trump's birthday, we got the notice that the peace deal was being signed. And we'll get into some more of this, I think, in a little bit, but thanks to everybody that tunes in. Thanks to the mods. Thanks, Space Shot, for having me. And thanks to Lisa, wherever she is. Hopefully she'll be back soon. But looking forward to the show. A lot of things been happening. So let's get to it.
Yeah, President Trump was pretty active, and that show last night was just freaking epic. And while the show was going on, President Trump had posted this one out, and so it's reposting somebody else out there that says, imagine having to pretend this sucks. Because remember, we have the libs, and they did have their like anti-UFC little cringy ass party in New York City last night. But listen to this. Oof. USA. So many people, and then they had people over at the Ellipse too. I mean, had to be 100,000 easy over there. I don't know how they would gauge it, but dude, so many people there. And what I really enjoyed about, I don't know if you noticed, but they did like the walkout songs. They were having the Army band play their songs, but like, by the band. It was super cool. I really enjoyed the different versions that they had doing the live music, and we got a really big surprise at the very end there, brother, where we had the American beat that cocky SOB, dude, and I was so happy to see it. I was telling people at the beginning of the show we were doing that I wanted to see this cocky SOB get his comeuppance, and he did, dude. He was just so cocky. I'm the best. I'm going to put Justin to sleep within a minute. You watch. I'm the best. My farts smell luscious. It's delicious. You would love them too. And that was one of the cracks Justin made about him and his now ex-wife. He's like, no wonder his ex-wife left him. The guy probably sits around and smells his own farts all day. But dude, that was like a car crash. This dude looked like he was in a friggin' car crash when it was over, dude. What did you think of that fight?
I ended up falling asleep watching
Whoa.
the end. Yeah, unfortunately,
Wow.
but I did catch up on it, and he took a beating, but he took it, and I forget the other guy's name. I don't pay attention too much to UFC these days because there's a high turnover rate, it seems like, but it was a great fight. I
Yeah.
enjoyed the entire event. I've been to 2 live ones at Mandalay Bay back when UFC first started. I actually met Dana White at a Super Bowl party one year. It was pretty cool. And I forget the other guy that I met, but they're so much fun to go to. I've never really gotten up on my feet in an event when you're cheering for, just a outcome of a fight, because they're just throwing haymakers at each other, and you can't help it. You don't know what's going to happen. But it was a great performance by the band. I thought the whole thing was well done. It was like 70,000+ people watching outside of the lawn area there. They had these jumbotrons set up, fireworks. It was really a people's day. There was military there in attendance. He was showing appreciation towards the military. I'm sure there was maybe some intelligence agencies, who knows. But
Sure.
yeah. But and more people watched it than the Super Bowl, believe it or not.
Really?
I thought that was
Wow.
impressive.
Well, so as we're going here, Debbie Roush had pulled some pictures of the event and laid them out so we can kind of look at a couple of these. But we'll get into what this gentleman, this dude said here in a minute. But I don't know what that was. It was like a Pokemon card that was graded that he gave him that was on a charm. And some of those can be big bucks.
I think it was a boxing glove pendant.
I couldn't really tell. I got another picture of it here. You can see it maybe a little better. Oh, maybe it's actually him. It looks like somebody that's standing there, like maybe they would do a pose for like a UFC. Maybe it's his own card that's graded or something like that. I don't know, but it looks like a person right there. It's definitely not a. Well, I can't really see it that clearly, but to me it doesn't look like a Pokemon anyway. But really nice pictures though we got here that Debbie had dropped out. You got one of Dana White here coming out with President Trump. That was epic. Let's see what else we got here. I don't know who this gentleman is. I know who obviously JD is. He looks familiar for some reason. I just don't know.
That is the brother of Pope Leo.
Is it really?
I believe so. Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt it. And then this fight was even good. The wrestler, Bo Nickel. She got a black and white of this one here. That was cool. Definitely really, really well done. And, for anybody that's kind of poo-pooing the event, it's just like, well, would you rather have, transgenders on the front, seeing some dude with his boobs hanging out? And unfortunately, some people, that answer is a yes. Diego Lopez here after he won, beat Steve Garcia. That was a hell of a fight, too. They slugged it out. And, dude, fun fact, I don't know how many in the history of UFC, to be honest with you, but every fight last night ended in a knockout or a stoppage. It didn't go to a decision. So you don't see that quite a bit. And Ilya could not see the first one we were showing there. He basically couldn't see out of his right eye when the third round was done, and they almost stopped it after the third round. This is after the fourth round, where his brother, it sounded like he says, like, we're not going to fight, but it actually says we're going to finish the fight. So it's like 5 seconds here.
He just said something to his brother. No. We finished the fight.
Says no. We finished the fight because when they were there in the third round, they called over the doctor, and I said it like on the stream. I was like, nope, that's it. It's over. And I'm very surprised that they didn't call it. But the judge or the referee in that match actually overrode the the doctor and was like, no, we'll give him a chance. Like, let him go out there or whatever. And they went one more round, and it was epic. And then Justin ended up beating him and almost breaking his freaking neck, dude. Did you end up getting to see? He always does a backflip when he wins his fights.
Yeah, I saw that.
And so he did that, and then it's almost like he tried to do another one when he landed and almost broke his freaking neck. But yeah, dude, he is, he said I was basically meant for this stuff, and he was born and bred for this. So I hope you guys enjoyed the event last night, and it was super cool to watch. I really enjoyed myself here. And we even have some more of this stuff, dude. Check this one out, bro. Speaking of memes and stuff. President Trump just posted, every battle is won before it is fought. So he's reposting.
That's a Q post.
Yeah. He's out there putting out, just like to the video you started us with here. There's a lot of that stuff going on, and they are giving us many, many hat tips. Now, I'd be remiss if we didn't cover this, because I think this is probably the most shocking thing from the whole fight. And I gotta admit, dude, people that were listening to my stream, I was ragging on this guy, saying, I can't stand this guy and his shtick. He literally went from being a guy that I was just like, I cannot stand this dude and his shtick, to being, okay, he's now one of my favorite fighters. Listen to this, and I know most of you heard it already.
Michelle Obama is a man. Am I right, America? Michelle Obama.
Dude, I could not believe he said that. And then you have people that are on the 5, like Jessica Tarloff, going, I can't believe Joe Rogan didn't have enough sensibility to say, that's a former first lady, and of course it's a woman. Maybe he was too shell-shocked. I mean, dude, what was going through your head when you heard that? And I got to see the chat and what they're saying.
Hey, the truth hurts.
Truth is painful.
I think we're getting to the point where more and more truths are coming out. So I would say this is a warm up right here. But yeah, he does the whole like WWE, WWF kind of wrestling shtick. And what does he call himself? The Incredible Hulk and stuff. So
yeah, the Incredible Hulk.
But the guy that he fought against was Derek Lewis was his name. He was really out of shape. It was hot and humid, DC, but and I was thinking about it. They're usually fought in arenas where it's probably not as humid, but his cardio, I think, got him a little.
Yeah, he's always, unfortunately, old Derek Lewis. He I don't know if he still does, but I think he still does. But he held the record for the most knockouts in the UFC. And he's just one of those dudes that if he, ends up connecting with your chin, you're going to sleep. But he wasn't throwing many punches last night. And that dude, Hoka, he's, I say only 230 pounds, but for a heavyweight division, that dude, Derek Lewis, cuts weight to get down to 265. And that kid, Hoka, that said this here, he's 230 pounds, so he's a lot faster. Definitely a lot faster, too. I think my buddy put a... my buddy. I'll play. This is 4 minutes. I'll play maybe like 30 seconds of this. My buddy Milay put this out.
So anyway, when Barack won the election, he said, Michael, you have to hide your dangling dong. If people find out you got that huge dangling dong, they're going to start calling you Big Mike, and they're going to say I'm gay or some shit.
I mean, in the beginning, bro, I thought, yeah, whatever. It's whatever. And then just started doing more research, right? And then the Ellen video really kind of make me starting to believe that statement. And I don't know if, what part of the crowd out there thinks, that's a reality. Like, do you guys put no for you don't believe it, and 1 if you do believe it in the chat? I'm interested to see how many people think it's kind of just a joke, but some people who actually really believes it. You know what I mean? Because, dude, I've seen too many suspicious looking things, Mac. And just a quick programming note:
totally
anybody hears
suspicious
banging? They just finished up putting the roof or the new shingles and stuff on the house, so there's a bunch of banging going on in the background. So hopefully you guys don't hear that. But yeah, what do you think?
I haven't heard anything, but yeah, there's always been this rumor, and I mean, was it Joanne Rivers? Is that her name?
Yeah.
She called it out, then she was dead a few weeks later. But there's Ellen DeGeneres video where she's Big Mike's got it flopping around.
Yeah.
There's just too many examples. And to be honest, Hollywood and all that, they all like bowed to her, saying how beautiful she was, and they all and who runs that? Usually the gay community, right?
Yep.
So I think it was a big lie that they all conspired on. And Obama's even said Michael and Mike and stuff. It's crazy.
What a
And then the
coinky
Q
dink.
post, yeah.
Well, yeah, we were shown in this Q post back in that these guys are holding hands here on here. And then can anybody explain this one away for me? Because here's the problem, dude. My ex-wife's name was Rebecca. I never called her Ricky, dude. Never once did I ever call her Ricky or even anything
Yeah, I think
along
we're all
those
just
lines.
waiting on confirmation of this. So
Let me see.
let the jokes fly, because I want to see a defamation case like with Macron's wife.
Ooh, oh, and actually, yeah, you were speaking about that Ellen video. So what I did was I blew up the handshake or these guys holding hands, smoking a cigarette, probably after they just had gay sex. But anyway, I overlaid that to a video where Obama keeps saying Michael, and then I don't know if it's in this one, but you can see Joe Biden is like, huh? But this up here is actually her dancing on Ellen doing the Uptown Funk, and I've said for years, either this person has a peen or this person has a roll of quarters in their pocket or something along those lines. So let's see what we got here.
Michael and I also want to acknowledge.
And dude, by the way, why doesn't he correct himself? He just goes on with Michael and I. Sorry.
Your son Jack, who's deployed today.
When Michelle's mad, I get worried.
And do you think that the United States will see the first gay president or the first woman president?
We already have it with Obama, so let's just calm down.
Got it.
You know Michelle is a
I'm sorry, she's a what?
a transgender. We all know.
Oh my gosh.
We started drinking, I started snorting, he started smoking. I actually put my hand on his knee and started to rub up his thigh, and I performed oral sex on Barack Obama.
I mean, fits the pattern, bro, right? I mean...
and President Trump talked about Obama in a post and talked about Mecca. I was in that video, right? It's gonna be he posted the Obama meme again. Here, let me
yeah. Let me see if I can
post it in the chat right there.
All right.
And then I found in Obama's oral history at Columbia.edu, and he quotes about Mecca.
Oh wait, I do have that one. Yeah, I'll just go to your link. I did have this link here. Obama history, oral history. That's cute. Let's see. Mecca, Saudi Arabia transcripts. And see, yeah, I saw it was Ben Rhodes. And if you scroll down, there's actually on the phone, it was different. I think I had to click on this, and then it pulls up Ben Rhodes in an interview. Egyptian government, when he met with Mubarak, about what effects. No, the Egyptian government felt my distinction. So is this part of his presidential library? This is just part of the things that are in Columbia Education EDU interviews. Obama oral history .columbia.edu. So what is this, bro? This is weird.
It says Obama presidency oral history. So it's part of, I guess, what he does.
I remember the tension of realizing I was in government because everyone's trying to water this speech down. Nobody's making it stronger. Obama was getting frustrated. What did he say here?
Muslim Brotherhood.
Yeah, even with parties that we don't agree with, and that was clearly meant to indicate the Muslim Brotherhood, then we said only if those parties follow the rules, essentially, and abide by democratic principles. We actually said that in a speech unknown to us. Yeah, he is, again, and, nobody's going to, make me think otherwise. He is 100% a Manchurian candidate. That video that we look up, anybody can look it up on X. Go ahead and put FBI Obama 2008, and you're going to see multiple copies of Lisa's video come up where the FBI guy says, back in 2008, we heard about this asset coming in. And I don't even like to say the guy's name, but he was nominated as president of the United States in 2008. And obviously we know who that was, Big Barry. So yeah, dude, that night was magical, dude. I thought that night was magical, and to cap it all off with Obama, Michelle Obama in the co-main event, I couldn't have asked for anything better. Well, other than Justin winning that final fight too, because
1 second.
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely loved that final event. And what Mac had pulled up or mentioned a little while ago was this. We got. I was still live yesterday. And didn't even know. I was just ending my live. That's probably why I didn't see it. President Trump, 5:29 p.m. last evening. The deal with the Islamic Republic of Iran is now complete. Congratulations to all. I hereby fully authorize the toll-free opening of the Strait of Hormuz and simultaneously herewith authorize the immediate removal of the United States naval blockade. Ships of the world, start your engines. Let the oil flow. President Donald J. Trump. Boom. And then, of course, you have the people, some folks out there that are already saying, no, it's not true, there's no deal, and this person's not agreeing with it, and that person's not. Okay. I'm worried about, Iran and the United States. Are they agreeing with it? I haven't seen anything from Aragachi to come out and say, no, this is BS, this is not a real deal. And then this was about an hour later at 6:30 yesterday. He says, this great deal will bring peace and security to the whole region. Many presidents have tried to make peace with Iran, and all have failed before me. The leaders of the region have, for the first time, found a president who can help them achieve real peace. With the opening of the strait upon the signing of the deal on Friday, for purposes of mine removal, oil will flow on both ends again for the region and the world. President Donald J. Trump. Absolutely, dude. I'm loving that. And what's oil per barrel today? Oil barrel prices.
I mean, once the Iran went down, a war was announced, the prices dropped dramatically, went down to like $80.
Yeah, we're at 81, I think, or something like that. So,
And President Trump again was right. He said once it ends, it'll come down.
Yeah, not as fast as we want to. Because remember, as soon as we hit Iran the second time, like I went to the gas station like 3 hours later, they already jacked the prices up. So they're quick to jack the prices up, and they're always slow to put the prices back down. So just keep that in mind out there, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, by the way, dude, you happen to grab yourself any SpaceX stock?
No, I did not. I don't usually. I don't do that stuff a ton.
No, me neither. I grabbed two, just to have two, just to say I had them. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. And that's something I would just put away, right, and not touch. Obviously, wait for a few years and let that come through. You had put a link, two links actually, but I'm gonna go with one of them first because I thought there was a subsection of one of these that was pretty cool. And Tulsi put out this. This comes out of the Director of National Intelligence office. I thought this was pretty interesting. This is basically her year one promises made, promises kept. Ended radical DEI, cut waste, fraud, and abuse, targeted foreign gangs and cartels, revoked deep state clearances, rooting out bad actors, declassified MLK, JFK, and RFK files, exposed evidence of Russia hoax, launched ODNI 2.0, which they're calling an elite and efficient workforce, uncovered weaponization, announced NCTC fusion cells, reached 500,000 pages declassified, 10,000 terror threats blocked from accessing the United States, and National Center for Counterterrorism supported ISIS detainee transfer. So they are executing President Trump's mandate to restore trust in the intelligence community. And it's interesting that, how good of a country we can have when they're actually working to make it better and not let it fall apart at the seams. So I think she's doing exactly what was laid out to her. And I saw a comment earlier that somebody put out there, dude, and it went along the lines of something like this. Oh, that was very brave of Tulsi to do this before she left. And I'm like, that was brave of her to do? So what, you're thinking that it wasn't connected to any type of plan or anything President Trump wanted. So you'd think this was just, oh, she went out on a limb and did this stuff by herself. I'm not buying that angle, bro. How about you?
Yeah, she's there. She has a role, just like Pam Bondi did. We're seeing it play out. I mean, Trump's hinted at it. He even did it in a post. He says, yesterday, I think it was, what's your issue with Bill Polt? What are you hiding? And just taunting the deep state the Democrats, as he says. But he's an outsider, so he takes a look at this stuff. I'm sure he's gonna jump all over all types of crimes that have been kicked down, or hidden from the public eye. So I'm curious as well. But I think Trump, did he go ahead and then appoint someone else now? So Bill
Clayton.
Yeah, so then you got Clayton, and he comes from the Southern District of New York, and that connects a ton with the Q Post, with the Anthony Weiner laptop, the Clinton Foundation, all kinds of, Epstein, yeah, Nexium, everything. It's crazy.
I had to go back really quick just to look for the ones and the zeros, and I do not see a zero in the chat at all. 1111111. Armed Gardener says not sure. 1111. Hunt Eat Kill. Yes, a guy. Don't Stop Believing. Oh, here we go. Don't Stop Believing says my X feed today indicates that 95% of the people know. Yeah, I would say they do. So yeah, one for sure. Christina Politis. Just the Truth says we saw it. Bandito of Bacon says Mohap.
Yeah.
Michelle Obama has a peen. MacGyver, that's a man. And yeah, so I see no zeros there. And laugh my ass off, dangling dong. I believe it. Cocoa Bear and Dizzy says some big back mic, big black mic maybe, or big mic. Oh no, we gotta know. Casey Jones says no. And I'll just add to the thing. It's and I understand certain women, just normal women wouldn't want to be photographed, say, at a beach or around the pool. But that was one thing that they set forth. Essentially, like there will be no pictures of Michelle Obama. Essentially, like of her around the pool, this, that, and the other. Like they let it be known essentially during that administration. So again, I thought it was kind of, haha, it's a dude, whatever. But then I heard Joan Rivers, then I heard this person, that person, and I saw that video there. So I can't explain that Uptown Funk video, bro. But this is also one of the ones that you had dropped, the other part that I'm talking about, which is the biolab slides. And we have 4 of them. So it's not too much that we can't kind of look it over here. But Veterinary Research Facility in Kharkiv, ongoing target for Russian misinformation and other potential operations. Institute of Experimental and Clinical Veterinary Medicine in Kharkiv probably houses at least some dangerous pathogens and almost certainly remains vulnerable to longstanding Russian information operations, seizure, or damage. The institute, which was founded in the 1920s, dude. 1920s. Veterinary Research Facility, okay. And may have had Soviet biological warfare ties, so BWB ties. Specializes in veterinary medicine, virology, and toxicology. May have directly or indirectly supported Soviet biowarfare efforts. Focused research on diagnostic and vaccines, and had already destroyed something. Early 2010s held hundreds of pathogens and was one of over 40 Ukrainian-owned and operated laboratories that received assistance under DoD's Biological Threat Reduction Program, according to publicly available information and such reporting. Although the facility had updated some areas with modern equipment and infrastructure, it as recently as 2019 had some biosafety and biosecurity deficiencies, most notably in rooms handling contagious Brucella bacteria, according to such reporting. Do you remember hearing about some of these labs that they had the, what is it, the safety or, oh God, what's the standards that they had was like essentially no better than like a dentist's office? I remember hearing about this back in like, I don't know if it was 19 or 20, but they were saying that the level of security that they had on some of these facilities was no better than, say, a dentist's office, where it was ripe for things to go missing and whatnot. So, not
you
good.
just think about the thefts from corporations and so forth. there could be employees that are selling secrets and so forth. The sharing of information due to gain of function. They use one to share amongst other entities, and they could be corrupt, as we know.
Mm-mm. Yeah, and they were ordered to destroy holdings after Russia's invasion, but did they? Says they will almost certainly remain a target of Russian information operations, zoonotic pathogen work, and will be vulnerable to potential Russian damage or seizure. Information from 2012 says the virology building has a basement level as well. So what else we got here? Over 40 biolabs built and supported. Something Ukraine. Storage of biowarfare pathogens from Soviet era. U.S. training for Ukrainian scientists to work in biocontainment. Especially dangerous pathogens, EDP, certification. Repository of biowarfare and disease-causing pathogens. Anthrax, tularemia, tuberculosis, swine fever, Newcastle's disease, MERS, SARS, Marburg, Ebola, Lassa, the plague, rickettsia? I don't know what that is. Rickettsia? I don't know. But yeah, doesn't sound like some good things that you want to have. And these are all basically, just all running all over the world too, dude. They got so many of these labs all over the world, and I just wonder, why do we need so many of them, is my question. And it's all very dangerous, too. In the middle of a war zone, essentially, or allegedly. But, yeah, we got all the facts, guys. We got all the stuff, and it's coming out. And I don't think that's an accident, and I don't think that was, quote, brave by Tulsi to come out and say that. I think she was just central casting, and she's doing as she's told and as was laid out. That's one person's personal opinion, and you guys can choose to agree or disagree upon that one. Let's see.
Well, here's a little bit of information. I think Laura Loomer was freaking out that this is like a document that was created by the Russian intelligence or something, and it's like, well, why is she freaking out if we're maybe sharing information about this stuff and trying to get to the bottom of why this was created? They created a whole corrupt industry out of this. And it's crazy to think they could hide behind gain of function with what they did. So
nasty.
Apparently this isn't as new as it's being claimed, but I think this is just the first step, the first batch, as you would say, to this, because it's not just straightforward. And it's only 4 pages, so
yeah,
I'm sure there's more than this.
You don't lead with the worst stuff, right? You usually save the worst for last, right? So you kind of build this stuff up, and as if this isn't bad enough, the fact that we were funding this stuff, taxpayer dollars were funding this shit. It's disgusting to know that we had people out there doing this stuff, but again, if people were trying to work for the betterment of the world, everybody in this planet could have a utopia. But of course, you have to have these, the have and the have-nots, or at least they believe that it has to be like that, right?
And then, they've thrown around this alien hybrid program. You wonder, if it is true, this would be a part of that operation and part of the people that are behind even the UAP stuff. And now we've got experimentations on humans making hybrids, if that's true. I think it's the same, it comes from the same cloth, as they say.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what's going to be next on here. I did have one more link on here, but it's just basically just the news, talking about how they etched a plan after months of false starts. But again, they say that the deal is done. President Trump has said it's done. Even the guy from Pakistan came out and said, hey, the deal's done. I don't see Aragachi out there. Like I said before, let me see. Aragachi, this guy. This guy would be the guy over there. So from 3 days ago, still, this is what he said then. The Islamabad, Pakistan, whatever, memorandum of understanding has never been closer. Pending its finalization, the media should refrain from entering speculation about its content. In line with our responsible and transparent approach, all details will be shared with the public in due course. So, again, dude, President Trump, I think, said in this one here, No, this one.
Friday.
Signing, right? Yeah, right there. Signing of a deal on Friday. Well, what do we find out, Mac, when we go and look up what is it? The 9th? Was it going to be the 19th? I think we came to.
Yeah, the 19th of Friday. Did you get the graphic?
I did not. If you made it afterwards, let me see. Let's see what you got here. I did not get that graphic. If you did make that. Oh, okay, perfect. Actually, let me just do it like this. I'll pull it right up on the screen so we can kind of go bigger. Here we go. Show links. Ding. Ding and ding. Here we go. All right. So yeah, this was interesting coinky dink, you want to say, I guess, dude. Let's see. Whoop, here we go. Bing. So President Trump is essentially saying this great deal will bring peace and security to the whole region. Many presidents have tried to make peace with Iran, and all have failed before me. The leaders of the region have, for the first time, found a president who can help them achieve real peace with the opening of the strait upon the signing of the deal on Friday. For purposes of mine removal, oil will flow and to the region and the world, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, this is posted on 6/14. And well, Friday is going to be 6/19. Free Iran. Iran war updates. U.S. Tehran confirmed peace deal. Signing set up for Friday. So again, that would be Friday the 19th of June. Free Iran. Fight, fight, fight. Regime change. People have the power. We stand with you. So, dude, a coinky dink or an 8-year delta, dude? What do you think?
It looks like a delta to me. And if it... I mean, for it to be on schedule like this, it's like it was all planned out. You know, they've have their I guess their path that they need to take in order to get to where we need to be, and freeing Iran was part of that. And I think, our guess that, uranium one probably some of that ended up in Iran, and there's maybe been some other dealings, who knows?
Yep.
But, we know that, Obama's sending that cash. Why would he send the cash to Iran? Hillary, it just, we know that this is coming. So we're just hoping and waiting to see what happens.
Yeah. And now, dude, you had another decode, and I looked at it at first, and I'm like, wait, where the hell? I don't see where. And then I'm like, oh my God, is that obvious? I'm like, so let me pull up the boom, 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 dark to light here. This one, dude. I was like, at first, I'm like, wait, where's he getting this from? And then I'm like, okay, yeah, that hits on every level, huh? So I don't know if you want to take this one away, dude, because that's pretty crazy. How they both seem to line up perfectly.
Yeah, this was I always look for little extra clues, and this is like 2 pictures of a light, in the daytime of the Washington Monument, and then you got one in the dark. So instead of it going from the top to the bottom, you go from the bottom to the top to get dark to light. Now, that matches up to a delta of that post, which was June 12th of 2018, and matched the timestamp.
That's crazy.
So then you think about it, the misspell of 2, the W, you could take that and look at W in brackets, see what that pulls up. So you just always try to go a little step further to see what you can, what information you can find.
2 posts
for what's going on currently.
Here's the other one here. Why is this relevant? How is information transmitted? But this one, nothing can stop what is coming, dude. And then I like this too, because not only do you have in there, within this post here, but you have boom, 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 a week to remember, dark to light, blackout necessary, but also adding in your video from the beginning with a lot of the end talk, right? And so I think we're getting to see, to a point where we're going to start seeing a lot of these things getting exposed left and right. And I think we're like, I would dare to say almost in the middle of it, because there's so many things coming out these last few months here, especially just ramping up, and people are just being exposed for fraud in every single venue, and I'm absolutely loving what I'm seeing here.
Yeah, and I'm wondering what that link brings up. What video that brings up? Do you? I don't know if you can.
This one here. Let me see. 1464.
Is that the famous video of Trump?
Might get Donald. This video will get Donald Trump elected. Might be. It was on there a lot. So let's see. Might be we're not going to take it. Who knows? Oh, United States, North Korea, Singapore summit. Interesting. That's weird. And again, dude, he went to North Korea, and he went and stood on their land. First president, I think, to do that, right? And for me, it seemed so much easier that when we handled North Korea. That's why I look at Iran like the final boss, because obviously it's taking much longer. We went over and just whipped up Venezuela, pulled their president out of there, no problem. But obviously, Iran has been taking a little bit longer. But, dude, a week to remember. I think that was, started by that UFC thing last night. That was just, again.
Yeah, 107 epic. Military. There's a marker, so.
107 marker. Yeah, I wonder if there's something in there. Ding, ding. Ding. What difference?
Doesn't have to be the future. Out of the darkness can come the light, and the light of hope can burn bright.
Out of the darkness comes the light. Isn't that interesting? That's right there at that 107 mark. Out of the darkness can come the light. Very interesting. Yeah, I mean, there's a few of those videos. We're not going to take it. Video will get Donald Trump elected. A few of those ones. And I still think that was one of the most epic speeches there. To replace the people in D.C. and essentially give power back to us, the people. Like he also said at his inauguration, which I thought was absolutely, again, a show of military power, right? When have we ever seen a president during an inauguration be flanked by friggin' JAG officers and military intelligence? That was 1920. Never saw that before. So, yep, something that we're all going through here is uncharted territory, and we've never been here before. So, anybody to tell you that they know exactly what they're talking about is bullshitting you.
One quick point about the Iran deal is those countries that came together. I forget the whole list of them. You can pull it up. It's in the chat somewhere. But they are candidates that have signed or possibly to be signing the Abraham Accords here in the near future. So bringing peace to Iran was the final, I think, step. Israel's already signed it, so they're already part of the Abraham. So that was a final, chip or puzzle piece that needed to be completed. And God willing that this goes fairly smoothly, we're gonna have a whole new world, as that video is basically saying.
True.
And it's a great start, and it's creating a sovereign trade route. And he keeps reiterating, no more tolls in the Strait of Hormuz. So this is going to be fantastic. And if you noticed, the World Cup and in the UFC, the UFC's uniforms have been what? They've been mainly like white and red, like the stripes on a flag, right?
Yep.
What, do you know what that symbolizes?
Mm-mm.
It's where did I put it here?
The UFC fighters too.
It's the 13 and UFC fighters both. The 13 horizontal stripes on the U.S. flag represent the 13 original colonies that declared independence from Great Britain and formed the United States. So as we've been talking about, Great Britain being in the background and controlling, say Lloyd's of London, and then you have even the United States of America. They were even controlling us in certain ways. And then we've got these other, countries, aka Canada, for one, that have allegiance to the British government, the monarchy, as you would call it, I guess. So this is all times changing. This is amazing stuff, and President Trump's doing it, and he's doing it through peace, through strength.
Yeah, I mean, he's essentially making it so these countries out here can, sovereign nations can deal with each other and they can actually start benefiting from all that oil that they got over there in the Middle East, right? Not just, when these countries were given resources and whatnot, they essentially just, it doesn't go to the people. It doesn't go anything or any way, shape, or form towards the people. And that's something that needs to be changed, right? Because remember we saw, he died. What the hell was that guy's name? Looked like the craziest son of a bitch you ever saw in your life, but apparently he was like a really good leader over there, Libya. I can't even think of his name.
Gaddafi?
Yeah, I mean, that dude was like, you got married, he would buy you a house. If you didn't have a job, they'd still pay you until you did. He was giving people water, electricity, like all sorts of stuff. But you look at him, he looked like the most crazy SOB you ever saw. So it's not so much of a stretch for people to say, like, wow, that dude, is he crazy? Gaddafi.
It's what's crazy is that there's these dictators that have adopted these systems. It's basically because they've gotten shut out by the world economy. Now you can do this, and we're going to do this now. There is not going to be a centralized digital currency. That's out the door. Trump said there's not going to be any of that. So it's going to be decentralized, which basically makes the people the bank. We are no longer adhering to the world banking system or how it was traditionally set up. I think President Trump has loopholed this, and there was a huge example. It was one of the wealth funds. The IRS isn't even, or is it the federal bank? Maybe the federal bank, is it? Yeah, they're not even touching the money. So that they've completely loopholed around the federal government and these funds. And I'm trying to find the fund. So if I can find it, that'd be great. But it was an article that came out about a week and a half ago. And I felt like that was a huge clue that they're using some other sort of monetary system that is trackable, and it's probably all digital, because these transactions of tariffs and so forth, President Trump keeps complaining about giving back all that money. That process is going to take a long time, but the exchange of the money of the tariffs, when they do happen, that doesn't seem to be any lag time, right? I haven't heard it. Everyone seems to be paying.
No kidding. And we got a new update here from 45 through 47, 717. Iran has agreed to never have a nuclear weapon. Also, the story that U.S. is paying Iran $300 million is fake news put out by the Democrats, President DJT. So, we'll see. God, rich with your money. So, we could probably look into this to see if there's anything in there, but pretty straightforward stuff. And we'll see. Nobody's come out and said, nope, this is not a deal. This is a lie, essentially. Like I mentioned, the Pakistani guy already said, yeah, we're happy that this is going through. President Trump has said it. Aragachi Syed right here has not came out and said anything, at least that I've seen. Let's refresh it. But last post is June 12th. No replies that I saw either earlier. So this would be the guy, Foreign Minister, Islamic Republic of Iran. He would be the one to be out there saying, no, there's no deal. This is bullshit. So I don't see it. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes going forward. I
mean, it's a procedure. It's not an easy thing. So it's Iran. President Trump said that they're difficult to deal with, but he's being firm about all this stuff, and I think that we should be hopeful. And the world is, I think it's great timing with the World Cup here. All the people from all over the world are coming to America and seeing all their reactions. And I don't know if we have this on the agenda, but the Japanese are great. They clean up the stadiums.
Oh, I
They
got
they
that. Yeah.
celebrated in the streets. All right, you guys. All right, we'll
Dude,
get to
how
that.
funny! How funny was that, dude? To see the Japanese. Well, let's pop that one
A
up
very,
quick.
a very, very respectful celebration. I thought that was awesome.
Well, what do? We torch cars and we burn our cities down. And these guys, they go like by the letter of the law. Funniest thing, Japanese fans ran onto the famous Shibuya crossing in Tokyo for 40 seconds to celebrate the 2-2 tie against the Netherlands. They ran onto the crossing only for 40 seconds while it was green. It says the Japanese did not break traffic rules. After the light turned red, everybody went back and stopped the celebration. They didn't even break the traffic rules for one moment. Let's see. This one guy's trying to get to work. Look, you got some people looking around like, oh, the time's about to come down. I mean, if that was here, it would literally be, things would be on fire essentially, right? And they're not going anywhere. But as soon as the light turns back, they're all like, and you can see some people in the back, like they were cognizant of it was, when the time was about to come back. You've seen certain people start to turn around and looking. Oh, here we go. And dude, they're celebrating a friggin' tie. A tie.
The whole bracket tied, and that's with the Netherlands in there. So
really,
yeah, it was a great bracket.
That's crazy.
And there were late game ties too. So there were two really good football matches.
There it is, clears it back up. Here comes the car.
And then they're also cleaning up the stadium after the stadium's done. I mean, it's just a very respectful culture, and the reactions to American food has been hilarious. It's been positive, but it's nice to see the world come together instead of the Democrats want to destroy it. So.
Precisely. And good evening, Patriot, says Mr. MacGyver over there on YouTube with the $2 super chat. Appreciate that, sir. And well, Mac, you brought up sports again, so really quickly, I don't know if you heard who the next main event is going to be. They just booked the next fight for it's going to be 3 weeks from today, or 3 weeks from 2 days ago. So 3 Saturdays from now. The Incredible Hokit versus Big Mike the Guns Obama. Oh my word! And Debbie shared one more with us. Did you end up catching this one at all? Where was it? This I thought was cool. Oh, the dude's doing the backflips and stuff. They call them. What they call them? Something Team 6? Wheel
Nitro
Team 6?
Circus. Oh, I don't know if they're what they called themselves, but it was Nitro Circus. I think with Pastrano.
Yeah,
he was the
badass
organizer.
Like, where's the dude in the wheelchair? I want to see that dude. They have that dude that does he does like these huge backflips on the wheelchairs and stuff. So, yeah. Oh my God, at that point, I was starting to think like, you know what? I think President Trump is just trying to do everything he can to piss off the left. Like, okay, what would piss him off the worst? All right, let's put a cage match out there. All right, that's not enough. Now, all right, we got to get some motorcycles doing some backflips. That'll piss him off. All right.
They would never let the people onto the property, and entertain the nation. They like you said, it'd be some transgender perverted book reading to kids.
So disgusting, dude. It's so freaking disgusting. Some of the money with Iran we were talking about earlier. I think we got a couple more on Iran.
That's the speech where this is where we give the power back to the people. Remember that was the speech I was. So that's the symbolism I got out of that. Now I know you had talked about admiralty law.
Yes.
In the post, I couldn't find any proof on that, and try to research it. Unfortunately, I don't know if the person provided any footnotes, but it read nice.
It read nice. Oh, that the what do you call it? The thread reader app one with the
where it's like ceremonial and I don't quite understand it.
I thought it
And
was cute. I read a little of it, but like you said, I don't see any lockstep thing, like, because they said, oh, we need to have an event where everybody's like approving of it. It's like, well, does that mean they go see a cage fight that they're approving of, changing the country back to, its roots?
I think it's like a symbolic thing because it's all like history has always been like that. There is always the reflection on history and how, you know, the winning of the war was some, there's been certain celebrations in DC. Remember the military parade? It wasn't like everyone complained out it was like unorganized. Well, that was like the militia and the military. So that, that was to like declare, I think, our independence from England and to celebrate that. So if we look back on what Trump's been doing in the background to free us from that control, I think history is going to look back on it. Another theory, I think, if he's a smart genius, like I know he is, I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to make a film, like a epic film about all this and what, with the back pieces to it.
That would be epic.
I know. And I if he doesn't do it, I'd be disappointed, but I don't know when that would happen. But when all this is said and done, that'd be like a trilogy of epic proportions,
Yeah, I want the
first term, the pause, and the second term. Yeah.
Give us it all. So this is interesting. They're talking about
the third term.
Yeah, but I don't want credit for the second one, the middle one, because I don't think he's going to get credit because I think the military was running it then. We'll see. But about a minute and 7 here from J.D. Vance talking about somewhat about what President Trump was talking about, $300 million or whatever, about them getting money from us. I don't think it's going to happen.
Walk through some of this. The Iranians are saying that they're going to have access to a $300 billion reconstruction fund. True or false?
Well, Ed, that's the sort of thing they could have access to, funded by the Gulf Coast Coalition, so long as they honor their end of the obligation. I think that one of the things you're going to see, Ed, and people have to be skeptical of this, is that the hardliners in the Iranian system will overemphasize the benefits that Iran gets while underemphasizing all the things that they have to concede and all the things they have to provide in order to get these benefits. So we absolutely are open to the Gulf Coast countries investing in the reconstruction of Iran, but only if Iran ends their nuclear program, ends their enriched stockpile of material, and is really open to an inspections and enforcement regime that gives the American people confidence they're never going to have a nuclear weapon. So I think the dance you're going to see, Ed, which is going to be interesting, is the Iranian media, especially the hardline media, they're going to talk a lot about what they get without talking about what they give. It's important for all of us to correct that record.
Heck yeah. What do you think of that, bud? Talking about, countries that, reparations, but he says, I expect GCC to focus on new security architecture going forward. Larry Johnson talks about Turkey, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, Iran regional solution with China and Russia supplies and influence. And again, are we working with China and Russia? I think the answer is yes, but what you got on this one, my man?
Well, you know what? There were some clues recently that something's going on. It has to do with the other country category. Let's see, where do I start here? It was France. They said that there's election fraud in the U.S. and where was it? Scotland. And it had to do with Israel interfering in elections. So Trump's over in France right now. So I'm guessing he's probably getting some intel on how New York City was the particular city that had election fraud. So why is France looking into election fraud into Israel? Isn't that weird? So there's one example. I'm trying to think of the other one here's the other example. The UK captured what they called a Russian tanker off their coast. Do you have that?
I do. Yeah, I'm trying to, and we'll get to this one later. That's funny. I do got the Russian tanker one, which is weird, right? That whole thing was very
I'll just explain it real quick while you find it. The Russian tanker is actually Chinese owned. It's out of Hong Kong. and it's part of the Shadow Fleet, and this Shadow Fleet has to do with the Strait of Hormuz. And what the U.S. military was tracking out of there was these shadow fleets shipping oil. Now, they don't say, and even Keir Starmer is blaming Russia for it. What I don't understand is why aren't they pointing their fingers at these shadow fleets and the corruption that's behind that? Is the shadow fleet part of the UK cabal? I don't know where to go with that. So I found it very combative that he's blaming Russia, but at the same time, the actual fleet, it's the ship itself came out of China. So when you look into the specifics, it's totally the opposite of what they're claiming. Can you help me on this one?
Yeah, no, it's weird too. This morning, UK forces boarded a Russian tanker in the English Channel that was secretly helping to bankroll Putin's war in Ukraine. The first operation of its kind led by British forces, and a clear message: there is nowhere to hide. And again, do they need bankroll over there in Russia? Like, I think they're doing pretty good for themselves right now. So that's weird to me. I'm wondering what the folks in the chat are thinking as well, because that is just
And that's
weird.
a ship owned by a Chinese ship, and it's out of like Singapore. It's managed out of Singapore, and then somewhere else. They have all these shell companies set up for it. I'll find it for
Yeah, plus you never know too if never know what the deal is. Never know what the deal is over there. I mean, we're getting a very short video, 25-second video where guys are hovering in a chopper and going here. I mean, this could be a training operation for all we know.
There, I got the information right there in the chat. But yeah, the video is just came with their announcement. I don't know if that is the actual boarding of that ship. But when you look into what's called Smirtos, the ship.
Smirtos.
Yeah, I'll let you you can take it from here.
The Smirtos is a 17-year-old crude oil tanker that has become a focal point of Western sanctions against Russia's energy evasion network. Originally named Mirtos, when built in 2009 by, and we'll just call it Wagyu Shipbuilding in China, the vessel has undergone significant identity changes to obscure its role in transporting sanctioned Russian oil. Ownership and operational history. It's currently listed with Zhao Yao Shipping out of Hong Kong as its owner and commercial manager, though sanctions databases indicate it was controlled by Daira Shipping from the Seychelles and managed by Crest Maritime Pte Limited, Singapore, starting in February of 25. These shell companies are characteristic of the Shadow Fleet, a network of over 700 vessels using opaque ownership structures to bypass G7 price caps and embargoes. Since March of 25, the Smirtos has been primarily involved in exporting Russian crude from the Pacific port of Kozmino and the Baltic port of Ust-Luga. So this is, and I'm wondering, dude, like, I'm wondering if these things are like deep state shadow fleets, like if they're run by the deep state, because
that's what I'm saying. And so, is Russia helping out in the background, catch these shadow fleets that have been running? Now, these shadow fleets, if we know the deep state, are probably run on some serious blackmail of some sort, how they're able to operate, or, money. So the money's not as much there. You kind of wonder what's going on. So I can only think so far ahead, and just think of the different types of reasons. But this shadow fleet keeps coming up. Also, shadow banking keeps coming up. Shadow brokers was mentioned in the Q post. But
that's right.
Yeah, I would say these are arms of the deep state.
No, that would be my guess as well. And I got something interesting for a little bit later as well. That's going to be fun to get into. Got a couple of fun ones for later as well. Let's see. And I think we're good on Iran now. I think.
Did you see what Mark Carney said?
Carney, small hands smell like cabbage.
From Canada about getting the people ready for communism, basically.
Oh yeah.
He just said it at the G7. I'm just so they're really starting to expose themselves on what they're really after. They're pushing their agenda forward. Even though Trump's winning, they're still got to push it forward.
Oh wait, hold on. I gotta get this one. Wait, go back. All right, wait. I need to make sure I have this link for later. You're gonna love this. More back and forth here. But yeah, and if you noticed, he talked about basically said the new world order, right? The new order of the world. So we know what that is, and that's their old rules-based system that we don't like, right?
He's so cunning in his rearrangement of words, so he wouldn't figure it out.
I know. It's not a new world order. It's the new order of the world. It's like, oh, God, please, buddy. But yeah, here's that 40-second clip. Get us unmuted here. Mr. Mark Carney. Can't stand carnies. Two things scare me. Small hands smell like cabbage. There we go. Mr. Carney, go.
Is there a prospect at all at this meeting for even the beginnings of a sense of what a new order might look like? I mean, I'm conscious of the old Antonio Gramsci quote that the old world is dead, but the new one cannot yet be born. Are we still in that phase? Is it too much to hope for just some strands of possibility and opportunity in Paris, in France?
Yes, possibly. Certainly, here's a safe answer. The strands of that new order yet to be born could be woven in Evian, which is the G7, and maybe I'll justify that.
Is there a prospect at all at this meeting?
So, dude, President Trump is clearly trying to do something new here, and these guys are holding on for dear life, trying to keep their new world order intact, and then trying to, rebrand it as a new order, or whatever the hell they're trying to call it, but we know what they're doing. Let you guys run your own crap and leave us alone. We'll
I'm not sure if these countries, the way they've set them up financially, can now survive, especially Canada. We know about Canada, but I'm talking about some of the other ones.
EU.
Yeah, the EU, United Nations. That's a big one. The Red Cross came up in comms this past week. So, and you think about the shadow fleet, the Red Cross and the Q Post mentioned it being a huge slush funds. There's videos of it having cash on board. We've shown them in the show before. And it is a rumored conspiracy theory that the Rothschilds, it's a huge laundering system for them. So I don't know, is it all connected and how they get around things? I just wonder. Hopefully we get more clues. But I'm getting these directions being pointed in. I'm just letting you all know.
Yeah, it's just they're being very obvious at this point for what they want to do. This was, let me make sure. I'm going to pull this one up. Let's see. When was this? So this was from yesterday. Just keep this in mind here. But again, this is pretty funny.
He strikes, and he apparently called Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to say, "What the F are you doing?" Netanyahu posting birthday messages today to Trump on X in response. Despite Trump insisting there's going to be a deal signed today, Democrats on the Hill are speaking out, really critical and skeptical of all of this. Listen.
I don't know if you heard, but we ended the war with Iran today, and they have agreed never to have a nuclear weapon, something that we insisted on. That was the whole purpose.
Okay, that wasn't the right soundbite. I meant to say Senator Jack Reed saying that he believes there's going to be a deal, but the president really just wants to give a birthday present to himself. Tomorrow, the president arrives here for the G7 in Evian, France, not too far away from Geneva here. He'll address economic growth, illegal immigration, artificial intelligence, among other things. He also plans on meeting one-on-one with the leaders of Egypt, Qatar, and UAE on the sidelines of the summit. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky also attending. He just posted this, that he talked with Trump discussing things that could help bring about peace now. And I informed the president, he says, about the latest developments on the battlefield and how our position has strengthened.
Oh,
we
God.
agree that we will discuss more during our meeting at the G7 summit. Here in Geneva, let's talk about those protests.
Dude, Zelensky popping his friggin' head up, but Netanyahu has no effing judgment. I passed that message to him. I'm very happy with the attack in Beirut. Why did Bibi have to do a effing attack? I was so pissed off. I let him know he has no effing judgment. He told Fox, Trump told Fox, he told Netanyahu, what the F are you doing? So remember, I even put this out the other day. I'm like, you know, who's going to want to put a turd in the punch bowl this time? I think I said it right here. Right?
Israel, I don't know if you had any Israel stuff from today, but they've been clapping back a little bit. And it's like, guys, this is about peace. And they're like causing more ruckus. And this is, you know, part of why Israel is going to be saved for last, however it unfolds. But
yes,
you know,
never going to be enough.
Israel getting caught cheating elections globally is a pretty big deal. That's a pretty big bargaining chip for President Trump now. And yeah, so we'll see what happens. I mean, that's huge. You know, that's huge for our elections and global elections, and it really puts a spotlight on them.
And I knew I had that somewhere. I thought I had it.
Now, is Israel also caught up in the COVID stuff?
Right? You don't know. Well, let me get to the bottom of this. This is the one.
Vigilant investigations have made it possible to geolocate the foreign operator behind this malicious activity, a purported Israeli company known as BlackCore. The modus operandi wasn't limited to France's municipal elections. It also appears to have been used for foreign digital interference in other countries or regions, such as Angola, Togo, the elections in Scotland, and New York's 2025 municipal election.
That's pretty interesting, huh, Mac? Other elections, and we were always told what, like, oh, Cuba, Venezuela, China. Are those the patsies that are just getting, you know, they're just getting blamed on them, essentially? Never know. Let me see.
I'm just, it's unfolding, you know, like everything's unfolding and it's all these different directions, and we're getting taken here, then there, and then you got to like step back and try to connect them. And we still just don't have that information to kind of put it all together, but we're getting close.
Oh,
I mean, we got the UFO stuff, and now we're learning how far that dates back. I don't know if we played the Tim Burchett clip. Did we do that last week? Yeah, we did.
With the 8 different kinds or whatever?
Well, that, and he said it dates back to like 1947, this cover-up. So, that opens up a whole new can, because that just tells you there's a cabal of people, a group of people keeping this secret. Now, are they good or bad? I don't know, but that would be part of the control system that we've been engaging in, because they know about it. You understand?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, dude, I can't wait to see more of this stuff get rolled out. We know what these people have been doing, right? It's just getting them in front of in front of somebody that can judge them and some judgment. But again, I feel like that is happening as well, which I think we're going to talk about a little bit later. Some people are saying in California, some people are a little worried that they're being investigated, but I think we're going to do a funny real quick, Mac. This dude, I love this dude.
Before we move on from the Israel stuff, BlackCore. Now, it's not the Israeli government, but they've reports linking them to the infrastructure companies like Galacticos and SNI, which are staffed by veterans of Unit 8200, which Lisa's covered before, and that's like the elite retired Mossad agents, and then the other organization's Shin Bet. I'm pronouncing that right. That's 2 words. Shin and Bet.
Shin Bet.
These reports describe a broader Israeli information warfare ecosystem involving shared personnel and corporate structures, but they do not provide proof of direct state contracts or official government sponsorships for Black Corps' specific operations. The Israeli government is not going to interfere with French's political process, and they're awaiting the details. So this is what we would call probably the deep state, just like, deep state of, oh, wait, hold on a second. Well, the ecosystem includes figures like former Mossad Deputy Chief Ram Ben Barak and former CIA Director Mike Pompeo on advisory boards of related firms like Cyabra. Cyabra has not been accused of running Black Corps' offensive operations, but they don't have to be. That is a dasting coincidence right there in connection. Holy cow. So there we go.
Well, instead of doing that, we'll do that funny in a minute because you brought up Pompeo, but we got something on Bolton, Pompeo, and is it Elaine Chao?
So that's Mitch McConnell's wife, right?
Oh, yeah, Cocaine
Or
Mitch.
is that Mitch McConnell's wife or is that Zuckerberg's wife?
99% sure it's McConnell's wife, yeah. Let's see
Which
here.
her family owns the largest and oldest shipping company from America to China.
Oh, he's got lots of money for sure. And now this is Data Republican says, what do Mike Pence, Pompeo, and John Bolton and Elaine Chao have in common? They were all paid by a Marxist Islamist Iran group that was designated as terrorist until 2012. No, this is not a joke. Mojahedin-e-Khalq, or MEK, was founded by leftist Islamists to oppose the Western-backed Pahlavi and participated in his 1979 overthrow. Khomeini barred MEK afterwards. MEK was implicated in multiple bombings, including that of Americans, and remained an openly armed group until 2003. Since they got delisted as a terrorist organization in 2012 on procedural grounds, MEK and their fronts have been actively recruiting U.S. politicians selling themselves as a moderate alternative to Khomeini. But RAND Corporation says MEK meets the qualifications for a cult, citing criteria such as forcing their members to work 16-plus hours a day and forced divorces. Polls of the Iranian American community shows that they do not accept Rajavi, MEK's leader, as legitimate, with a 46-point net disapproval, numbers nearly as bad as the existing regime. As Pence's former chief of staff, Mark Short, has already weighed against a Trump deal, it's helpful to recall this. Receipts below, as always. Patience as I pull the thread together. So, Mark Short here. Serious people growing frustrated that the same people who rightly criticized Obama JCPOA are cheerleading for JCPOA 2.0. And that's in response to, in the last few hours, POTUS has told the Israelis to stand down and has also called the Israeli prime minister and scolded him, asking him, what the F are you doing? And called a reporter to reveal that right after. Serious people in Washington are growing very, very, tired. And what was this? Oh, that's cute.
In bipartisan support in the U.S. and from several prominent...
I think this is a different post here. Oh, okay. In an interview with It's Your Gov, National Council of Resistance Iran director and MEK representative AJ was asked directly, is your group involved in any sort of lobbying or payments for speeches to prominent individuals such as Mike Pompeo? And he said, absolutely not. National Council of Resistance of Iran.
Liar!
Yeah, we don't need to play the minute and a half just to get to that because what are they going to admit it outright? No. And again, Pompeo, man, he lost a lot of weight, dude. He certainly lost a lot of weight. And I don't know if that was Ozempic, but I thought he said he had some sort of a disease or something. But we looked it up the other day, and it said, no, he did it just by working out and eating right. And I'm like...
He said it was his daughter's wedding, I remember. But it was a tremendous amount of weight to lose in a short amount of time. He almost looked like a totally different person. So...
Right.
There's all these people that seem to have these transformations and look different. And I think Trump, he makes jokes about it, I think, because he talks about how somebody's getting older and they look better looking. I think he did it with a couple people. So is he pointing out the fact that they're totally not them and it's a fake person? I don't know, but
A 2.0 or something like that.
yeah, he keeps making these references. It's something to keep an eye on.
Ooh, it's very interesting. Well, I think with that in mind, I actually want to read. Actually, I want to thank somebody, which is actually going to lead me to a story that we're going to cover anyway. Air Force girl sent over a coffee, became a monthly supporter, and says thank you. Actually, so I'm going to click this up, and I'm going to bring this up as we say this because I touched on it with Matrix Codebreaker yesterday towards the end of the show, but I also wanted to get your opinion on this as well. So. Air Force Girl says, thank you for bringing up the quote Flynn convo. I believe he's a 2.0, which tells me the original was a baddie. And again, thank you for that, Air Force Girl. And I'll just, again, say it for the record. You guys know in the very beginning on X, I used to have the 2 stars on there. And then I was like, I don't know. It seems like he's a little sussy. And then I went back to being like, no, I think he's a good dude, and Mac and Lisa would even tell you that. And I remain at 50-50. I cannot tell you one way or the other. Yes, General Flynn is a bad guy, and yes, General Flynn is a good guy. I don't know, but with that in mind, Mac, we had these posts that came out. And the only information that I got that I didn't know was apparently this Linz Piper Loomis was an SA survivor. And she was on the America's Future PDPC board. But she says, hey, I resigned on May 9th, 2026. I may speak more on this later. Sun Tzu, which I thought was maybe one of his, if not his attorney, says, I stepped down from my position as an advisor, so maybe not the attorney on this thing here, as an advisor on the advisory board of Project Defend and Protect Children with America's Future. As a digital soldier, I do appreciate General Flynn. And then Liz Crokin says, I want to put on the record publicly that I resigned from General Flynn's America Future on June 8th, 2026. And this all came out last week on the 9th, 10th, like right around this time. So again, I don't know what all this is from. The only other piece of information I've seen floating around out there, Mac, was this one. No, not that one. This one. And again, I'm just pulling up possibilities of things that I could think maybe people would be going to. But this person, Scott McCann, who I don't know, says Mike Flynn is officially a foreign agent of the Republic of Srpska. I don't even know how to say that. SRPSKA. Srpska, headed by Milorad Dodik, who is Putin's most vocal ally in the Balkans. I first reported on this a month ago. Here's the registration doc from Faragov. According to the document, Flynn is being paid $100,000 per month. And the only thing I'll add to this is October of 2025. Fee $100,000 per month. It does have his name down there. There's no signature. It's a computer form, look like. But again, Mac, I'm in the dark on this. I don't know why people apparently are jumping ship here, but any input or comments on this one? And I'm going to see what the folks in the chat are saying at the same time.
Many moons ago, there's questions that need to be answered, and they were never answered. And I just got a bad vibe through my research. A lot of it. I don't want to go through all of it right now. That's why I'm just saying
No,
this.
no, that's fine.
But this does not look good. Given the amount of online clout, I know that Sun Tzu and Liz Crokin have put out. One can only speculate at this point, but it's not probably a good thing. Who's going to replace them? Are they losing money? So they had to resign.
Distancing.
I don't know.
Like.
Yeah, distancing. Yeah. So.
And again, I don't have enough information to solidly say one or the other.
When you follow the money with Flynn, it's just very suspect. He also, the one that really changed my whole outlook was the Marshall Plan, the Middle East Marshall Plan. And you start getting into, he was a foreign agent that never registered for FARA.
Turkey?
Yeah, and he was a lifelong Democrat, then all of a sudden became Republican. If you look at the Comey stuff, he never met with a lawyer. He met with the FBI without a lawyer, and that's when they charged him. So there's a lot of anomalies that don't add up when that happens. Just like with like the Charlie Kirk stuff and any other of these false flags we'll call them, or assassination attempts. There's been some anomalies. So that's why I can't go all in and be like, oh yeah. So I really am not positive outlook on that whole thing. So
we'll wait for more. We'll wait to see what else comes
yeah,
out.
the truth will set you free. Like I said, questions need to be answered, and hopefully some things come out.
Yeah, and I would just add too, again, either way, I don't know, but for me, this does not look good, because I know historically, Liz Crokin and Sun Tzu have always been pretty close to General Flynn. And Lynn Piper Loomis, I'm not really sure about her connection with him, but the fact that they were so close to him for so long, and that it's appearing that they're distancing themselves, it appears to not be good. But again, we'll wait to see whatever else is following up with this. I'm not going to condemn somebody without having the information to do so. But if I do have the information, we're going to report on it. So whatever it is, like, I don't care if it's Trump. I don't care if it's Barron Trump, Melania. If there's solid information on somebody doing something bad, especially to kids, it's going to get reported. We're not sweeping up the rug for anybody, period. ! Well, I thought this was just a funny one, Mac. This is not the other funny that you dropped. Or maybe you did. I don't know. So check out this little 30-second blurb. Remember how they were saying about cows and all the methane, and they put out all this excess stuff, and then people come to realize, they say, wait, cows don't even fart, apparently. And I'm like, oh, that's a new one for me. But apparently there's another new investigation or study out of some university here. Hopefully this plays.
So you'll be reading it, so it's not coming from my mouth. I'm not making it up. But the University of Nebraska just got done with their one of their studies that the way to save the world on carbon is raise more cows. Okay. And that's because cows are carbon negative. Okay. They produce more oxygen than they put off methane and carbon.
It means to eat more cheeseburgers or steaks, right?
Beef.
To save the world.
To save the world, right.
How about that, bro?
Yeah.
Carbon
the lies
negative.
are all they're all being unfolded. We were force-fed the green stuff, the global warming and climate change. I think it was before that, global cooling, as President Trump calls it. And it's just a way to trick and take money from the government and push an agenda. And pushing this agenda was literally creating bad science and hurting our environment and giving away our money to other countries who were then just polluting it even more. The main pollutants are not even the United States. So go figure. Yeah, China, India. So it's wild.
Yeah, China was bad. I think you're gonna
put the blame on the U.S. citizen, like, oh, donate here, or like contribute, or watch this, or watch that. It's like, you guys are the ones polluting it, not us.
Yep, and they can do whatever they wanted with their country, turn it into a dumpster. But no, we get charged more, and we got to do the right thing over here. It's like, I don't know about that. Let's see this one. You're gonna love this one. I would say somebody sounds almost conspiratorial, like somebody's out to get you. Let's check this one out here. I'm not playing the whole 4 minutes. You'll get what we need out of it, I think, in the first minute, if that. Let's see. Old slimy Gavin Newsom.
In recent days, federal agents have knocked on the doors of family, friends, and former employees. Not because they found a crime, because they're simply trying to find one. They're demanding records. They're abusing the grand jury process, digging through years and years of random documents. Donald Trump isn't just coming after me because of my mean tweets. He's coming after me because I'm considering running for president, because he hates that I've consistently called him out over and over again for his lies and deceit. Donald Trump is simply the most corrupt president in American history. He's turned the levers of government into his own personal power ministries to reward cronies and to try to jail his opponents. His personal attorney now runs the Department of Justice, which has repeatedly gone after his political enemies. Ask Jerome Powell. Sent them after James Comey, Tish James, Adam Schiff. He sent them after Tim Walz, and a woman that a jury found Donald Trump had sexually abused. One by one, anyone who has challenged Donald Trump has ended up on his hit list. And today, I proudly join that list. After calling for my arrest last year, Donald Trump directed his Department of Justice to investigate me. And just in the last week, I've learned that his campaign has reached my own home. To get me, he's coming after my wife, Jen, a public servant, a woman who's dedicated her life to supporting women and girls. Someone who has done nothing wrong other than having the temerity to advocate for what she believes in.
Dude, I gotta tell you, he is quite the bullshit artist. He seems so sincere, doesn't he? I mean, what a bullshit artist to the max.
Don't you feel like you're watching a movie when you listen to him? Like, this guy's insane,
right? It is. Where was this one? Where
and
was this one?
His speech pattern is crazy annoying.
Well, yeah, they do that, I think, for a reason. They like lull you to sleep. Let me see here.
Own personal power ministries to reward cronies and to try to jail his opponents. His personal attorney now runs the Department of Justice, which has repeatedly gone after his political enemies.
All right, I want you folks that are tuning in to pay attention to the string of names that Gavin Newsom says right here, and then think about what they did under the first administration. And is President Trump just blindly going after his political rivals?
Ask Jerome Powell. Sent them after James Comey, Tish James, Adam Schiff. He sent them after Tim Walz, and a woman that a jury found Donald Trump had sexually abused.
Yeah, okay. Every one of those people tried to put him in jail. Every single one of them, right? Tish James, Comey, all these people that he's mentioning. And did you hear what he said in the very beginning, too? That they're abusing the grand jury process? I found that to be interesting. I don't really know exactly what he means, but I do like the fact that I hear the word grand jury being spun up about him and his state.
You know why? It's probably because it's going to be seen in Florida and not California. Possibly.
Watch California. We've been told to watch California. Do we got a sting up going on right now, Mac? Do we got a sting up? Let's see. Is it this one? So I've played this, I think, a couple times this week. Is this the same one here?
He had like a bunch. I told you last week after the show, it's like he's putting out comms. I just don't understand it. And then he put out "There Are No Coincidences," and it's a 6-second video with him dapping up a senator, or I don't know who it was. Maybe it was an attorney or a representative.
Yeah, it was like a state's attorney or something like that.
Yeah, and then now you got here, phase 3.
Yeah, it's just I want to get to one specific part of it that he's talking about, because to me it's very stingy.
I was saving it for the general election. Go ahead and pick your demon, certify your choice, and then you get to see it. So Karen Nithya, ask yourself, is it possible that one of your employees may have a recording of you doing or saying something that would force you to resign in disgrace? Hope you sleep well at night over the next 5 months, because you know who hasn't slept well at all for the last 17 months? My mom. All my neighbors in the Palisades, all the moms who worry about their kids walking past drug addicts in front of their schools, all the business owners getting crushed in the LA economy, worried that they can't stay in business and feed their kids. Angelinos have been struggling for years now, all while corrupt politicians and fraudulent NGOs profit off the misery and fleece us for the tax dollars. Well, now we're flipping the script. I want all of you awake at night sweating and worried about 5 a.m. when the FBI blazers bust in the door, breaking open your office, because I assure you, they're coming. You think your election was going to stop me? If you want to stop me,
you're going to have to fucking kill me!
I mean, it sounds to me like a sting operation, dude. And we've seen they have, Bill Asaley's over there, and he seems like he's helicoptering around the area, watching over things.
Yeah, and in that video from last week, he's like, "Is that a SEAL? SEAL? Like Navy SEAL?" You know, like it just the way that he set off those numbers too it seemed like he was thinking how to arrange the numbers or what numbers to use. So
Yeah, and
so he's apparently he appears to be a good guy. I like his attitude. So
we'll see. We'll see. And was it you that found a couple weeks ago? We found that the people that were funding him, one of them was the dude from Google there, Sergey Brin. Which I was on another show and I was like, and I brought that point out, and I think it was Belushi had said it had a pretty good point to it. He goes, yeah, he goes, he might be a bad guy, but also remember they're running businesses out of California, so they want to see the city and the state do better, right? So if it's a cleaner city and state, maybe they'll be happier that he's the mayor more than, you know, one of these Democrat idiots. Maybe it'll be cheaper. But I'm like, I don't know. It's just data points that we find. You know what I mean? And got to let them be known.
Yeah, he was called out in the Q post. So
exposed billions of
stop.
And we did all the research behind Google. So, you know, Sergey Brin, he's born. You know, I'm looking at a Q post right now. It's born in Moscow.
He sure is. More of these arrests, dude. Federal complaint defrauded a bank out of nearly $100 million. From who? U.S. Attorney Bill Asaley says Mahendra Makajani, 44, faces up to 30 years in prison. Like, I don't know how these people were getting away with all this fraud that they were doing, but they had the cojones to at least set up, you know, some of these people, like, not legitimately, but they actually set up fake businesses, and then they were sending things in for the government to pay them. Like, oh yeah, I just treated this guy with this, and this, made up a whole bunch of stuff. But apparently nobody was checking for years, dude, like years and years and years. And then people wonder why, you know, the system is broken while you have homeless people everywhere because the benefits are not going for where the people actually need this stuff. And people are just taking advantage of the system like crazy. Yep, keep these arrests coming, dude. Keep them coming. That's what I want to see. Let's see. This one, I brought this one up again. California. Hopefully this comes up. So this is...
real quick, I wonder if all these people that are getting caught with these big charges are part of another network.
What do you mean?
Like if there's repeating patterns of the same system that they're taking advantage of.
Oh yeah.
You wonder if it's like a cabal or a cartel of people, and these are just people that they're catching, and hopefully that they'll lead them to whoever's at the top.
Hopefully,
because a theory.
It's so bad, dude. There's so much of it. Trying to get this link from here from here we go. Epoch Times. Here we go. Come on. Oh, of course it's going to give me the link, but it won't let me send it over to my phone, I don't think. Login success. Here we go. Let's see if it lets me read it. If not, I'll just be able to read it from you guys here, but I think this should be okay. Ding, ding. Here we go. Oh, you're going to do it again. Nope, don't do it again. There we go. We got it. So, U.S. Attorney, come on. Are you kidding me? All right, I'm just going to read it from you guys right here. Bill Asaley. Investigations into suspected election fraud into California are underway, and Bill Asaley told the Epoch Times he doesn't expect those will result in charges, bro. Ahead of the 2026 midterms, investigations are suspected election fraud in California are underway, and I do expect those will result in charges. Oh, dude, that's weird. It had a comma at the top where it says it doesn't, where he does expect those to result in charges. And I do expect them to result in charges. He did not elaborate, as the Justice Department regulations prohibit discussing details of, as we know, ongoing investigations. Let me just get this off the screen so we don't have to look at that. We're going to follow the evidence wherever it goes. With political tensions flaring during the recent preliminary elections, he cautioned that fraud is difficult to detect and challenging to prove. There's a lot of confusion out there and a lot of people who have a lot of theories on election fraud, but theories are not evidence. He says we require evidence. Problem in California is that they have the universal vote by mail. So they mail out millions of ballots and they allow them to be returned as late as 7 days after the election. So it's very hard to understand on election night how exactly how many ballots have been cast and how many are left to count. And that just breeds a ton of distrust and skepticism into the system, whether or not fraud exists. Like, dude, I don't understand at this point, while they have access to like AI and stuff like that, how can more than one person per name or say social security number or, you know, number identifier or whatever it may be, like how can multiple people get away with doing this still to this day? That's how I don't get it. Like if you mail out 1 million ballots and they send out more ballots in, is like, aren't you going to have overlap? You're going to have more votes cast than basically voters out there, essentially, like we've seen in the past as well.
Yeah, that's what that ended up. I think it's because they kept them on separate lists. They never intertwined them. So they were like separate departments, but they never shared the information for whatever reason.
Jeez.
It's really strange, yeah. And they manipulated it to be that way, so it would be confusing.
Yeah, there's just, I mean, we got to be in the trillions for fraud right now. Like, it's got to be at this point. Ooh, my phone just told me that...
100%.
My phone just told me that SpaceX is up 30% today. Up 30%? What does that mean? Oh, $209 per stock. And if anybody was able to buy it at the opening, you got it at $135. And then it was a Wild West after that, essentially. get what you can after that. Let's see. AI. So speaking of the devil, Mac, this AI just exposed the biggest legal insider trading operation in America. Platform called GovGreed built a 7-layer machine learning system that cross-references every stock trade disclosed by every sitting politician against the bills their committees their control, the campaign donations they receive, the companies their votes directly impact. Scored 540 politicians in Congress, and the numbers are crazy. 56% of every stock purchase made by Congress in the last 16 months was on a stock directly affected by a bill the buyer later voted on. That's 6,170 out of 11,000 total purchases. More than half of all congressional stock buys are on companies whose fate that same politician is about to decide. 343 of 540 Congress members actively trade stocks while holding access to non-public legislative information. That is 63.8% of the entire legislature making market bets with an informational edge that would put any hedge fund manager in prison. And identified triple signals, 752 active triple signals in the current Congress. A triple signal fires when 3 conditions line up at once. Politician sits on a committee, they're controlling a bill, they traded stock in a company affected by that bill, and they receive campaign contributions from that same industry. Bills carrying these insider indicators pass at 5.4 times the normal rate. Now look at the individual leaderboard. Any guesses? You can see one of them there, but any guesses who the other folks on that list might be?
A lot.
He says a lot. I just wonder if they're gonna have Trump come up on, but of course we're gonna know Nancy's gonna be on there, right? Let's look at the individual leaderboard. Nancy Pelosi's estimated portfolio sits at $194 million with a greediness score of 98.1 out of 100. Ro Khanna made 13,231 trades across 800 different tickers. Michael McCall made 32,302 trades and filed 6,600 of them late. Thomas Suozzi filed 86.4% of his trades late with an average delay of 396 days, meaning his disclosures landed over a year after he made the trade. And then there's Lisa McClain, the 4th-ranking Republican in the House. She's made 1,443 trades in 3 years, more than 98% of all politicians tracked. She violated the Stock Act twice in a single year, disclosing up to $900,000 in trades months after the legal deadline. Her husband bought up $250,000 in Elon Musk's XAI, which quietly converted into SpaceX equity before last Friday's $2 trillion IPO. The penalty for all of this? A $200 fine. The number of Congress members ever prosecuted under the Stock Act since its passed in 2012? 0. And the cruelest part is this: a bill to ban congressional stock trading was introduced in January of 26. It has bipartisan support. Over 80% of American voters want it passed. But Congress is sitting on it because the people who have to vote, yes, are the same people making millions from the system staying exactly the way it is. They write insider trading laws, they exempt themselves from enforcement, they trade on the information the laws generate, and when they get caught, they pay a fine that is basically nothing. AI didn't discover anything Congress was hiding. It just organized what it was already public into a pattern so obvious that nobody can pretend it isn't there anymore. Dude, like, weren't people making programs like in the last few years where you could kind of follow along with Nancy Pelosi's stocks or whatever? And you could make her same trade. So I know people made similar things in the past. But this seems like they hit it. And a triple, whatever the hell they call that thing is, that's bad, dude. A triple fire or whatever. Where was that thing? Triple signals. They sit on the committee controlling a bill. They traded stock in a company affected by the bill. And they received campaign contributions from that same industry. Dude, that is just ridiculous, dude. Right? And people wonder why.
Greedy.
Yeah, and it was never meant to be like this. We were never supposed to be having our people make a career out of this stuff. Uh-oh. Mitch McConnell may be hospitalized, perhaps, I'm hearing. Maybe. Let me see.
Yeah, that was like a day or so ago, I thought, but he could have happened again.
Yeah, and like I'm surprised he's alive, dude. So let's see. What was this? Yesterday here? Ding 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 ding. I mean, it's a joke that this guy is he's even a representative still, right? Former Senate Majority Leader was admitted to a hospital. 84-year-old senator's condition is currently unknown, but he suffered regular health challenges in recent years. Is that what they call those health challenges, when you freeze up during a speech and you just, shut down your computer system? Did not specify the reason. He's apparently going around with a wheelchair still. Dude, that was 3 years ago where he froze in front of the camera. Oh my God, time is flying like I could have never expected. 30 seconds he froze. Dude, that was 3 years ago. I cannot believe where time is going right now, bro. I honestly can't. I can't. Let's see. What else we got in the lineup for today? Did we get to the second half yet? What did you, I know. Wait, hold on. Oh wait, hold on. This one here, I thought it was funny. So I wonder, dude, do you think that this story here I'm about to pull up has anything to do with NGOs that are out there? It says the failing New York Times seems to be having a hard time adjusting to new reality. That's why everything they have is behind a paywall, because they need the money. If the fake news lies, they will be held accountable. Facts over clickbait. Kash Patel keeps suing the press. So do you think it's more about lawsuits? Do you think it's just about shitty subscription purchases?
Both. I mean, they don't have the funding that they were getting before. However they were getting it, we all know that there was a racket behind the scenes, and nobody's buying the New York Times anymore. The newspapers, that's another way they were able to get a lot of money, and people just want to read it online, and putting out fake news articles is not doing it for Americans anymore. You can't sell bag of lies if everyone thinks it's something else. Everyone knows the truth. So what is he suing him for? Defamation, or does it say?
Well, yeah, he would be suing them for calling him a drunk.
Good. Yeah, I mean, I think that there should be some accountability, definitely, to these publishers. That they've been getting away with literal murder. It feels like they got away with rigging an election in 2020. We knew that they sold us a bag of goods that wasn't true. And then they kept perpetuating it. So
Yeah, I honestly, dude, I think what they need to do is, as I understand it, there are a few sports that are labeled as sports, and there are others that are labeled as entertainment, right? And so I'm not sure exactly which one those are, but I'm of the belief that if you want to be a news organization, that you should be held to a higher standard. Like, I don't know, not lying, not gaslighting the public or half the public essentially out there. If you want to be able to be branded and you want to get an SEC license to run news, then you have to be out there doing your best to accurately report on things, right? And if you're found to be, just lying about stuff left and right, then you get your SEC thing and you're not allowed to call yourself news. You can call yourself entertainment news or something like that, but you cannot call yourself regular news. I think a distinction like that is needed, because until they do that, nobody's like on notice, right? Like, if they don't tell the truth, then what happens to them? Like something like this, it's slanderous, but most of the time the things that they're lying about, it's not, they can't get a slander case out of.
I think it's the Smith-Mundt Modernization Act that needs to be repealed. That was part of the Obama put in January 2013 the National Defense Authorization Act for fiscal year 2013, HR 4310. It included the Smith-Mundt Act, as we call it. So if we could reverse that, then we'd probably be able to hold these publishers more to accountability. I don't understand why President Trump, unless he's using that for somehow to his advantage.
That's what I'm thinking, possibly.
Yeah, and same with this FISA stuff. He just attached the Save America Act and the FISA together in a post. I don't know if you saw that. But he said, the one's not going out without the other, essentially.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I mean, and dude, I love where he torched them the other day not the other day, when he was in Congress talking back and forth when they were asking him about being a drunk. He's like, yeah, crime's down 20%. This is down. Yeah, it's because I'm a drunk. Like, torched him.
Oh, and then he called the guy who was asking the questions. Wasn't he the one sipping margaritas in Costa Rica with the dude that got deported?
Yeah.
So, how ironic. Yeah, I feel it.
Isn't it ironic? Don't you think?
Yeah, of anybody to grill cash, it was the guys sipping margaritas with the deported illegal. Funny.
Well, I don't think it's gonna be a big shock to you, but I got more fraud.
There's been so many charges, arrests,
more fraud
on fraud. Yeah,
dude. There's so much that it's like you can barely keep up with this stuff.
I'm sticking with the 90% that has been stolen from us.
Candace Owens challenges FBI over Kash Patel's travel records before Kirk. Oh God! So what? Cash killed Charlie is what she's going after now. Okay, let's listen to this one. Here we go.
So what we're talking about now is looking across the entire state of Minnesota, because it appears that this fraud ring is being perpetrated across all types of government assistance that is meant for families that are hungry, families that need housing, young children that need education, and it's being exploited. And look, the fraud is well known because the Minnesota legislature, an independent oversight committee, called it out years ago. Governor Walz looked the other way because he was benefiting his constituency, and now it's on the backs of hardworking taxpayers to pay it. So what we're talking about now is looking across.
So they're going to be looking through the whole state, Mac. And again, I can't reiterate the fact again that who is running that state of Minnesota? Oh, Walz, the guy that they put in front of the whole world to bolster Kamala Harris to win the presidency of the United States. Ha 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 ha. Again, somebody nobody has ever heard of in their life. Like, anybody know who Mike Waltz was? Or is that even his name? Mike Waltz? The hell's his name? Something Waltz. Anyways, his last name's Waltz.
Tim Waltz.
Tim Waltz. There we go. Did anybody know who Tim Waltz was that wasn't from Minnesota or even, I don't know, maybe Illinois next door, perhaps? Because I sure as hell didn't know who this guy was.
What guy?
Tim Waltz. I mean,
no, yeah, he just came out of nowhere, but he's rape deep in the fraud, so he's like Gavin Newsom's running for president so that they can't catch him in the crimes. You know what I mean? It's that old, adage or whatever you call it. Like, wasn't it a movie plot where if you're a criminal and you run for president, they can't charge you with anything? So he's trying to cover up the crimes. He's mad because everyone else is getting caught for running crimes on Trump. The cover-up's always bigger than the original crime. So this is what's going on, the cover-up.
And it's the funny thing is they think we all have like a bad memory or don't remember. It's like, oh, you're just going after his political rivals. And it's like, yeah, no, like pot, meat, kettle. The idea that they can say it with a straight face, like, oh, Trump's just going after his political rivals when he goes after Comey. It's like, yeah, go check the record, guys, and then get back to me. It's pretty nasty. But, dude, all this stuff, it's not seeming to go away, and he keeps bringing this stuff.
Well, here, I got a question for you. Why is it that the Democrats don't want the FISA to be renewed? Because that's what they used to spy on President Trump. So Trump, I think, is going to make some corrections to it. But I think the part that he said previously is they use the FISA domestically in a certain section.
Yeah, it goes both ways.
So they used it illegally, essentially, the FISA. So now President Trump, they want to, it's coming up due, and they want to, I don't know if they're probably going to make some revisions to it and pass a new FISA law. Now, why are the Democrats not wanting it? And they're saying that it's in protest of Bill Pulte. Am I saying his last name right? Pulte? Is it Pulte?
Pulte.
Pulte, sorry. Jeez. My bad. And I think it's much deeper than that, but I want to hear what you gotta say. What do you think's going on here?
With what particular part exactly?
Well, why are they against the FISA now?
Oh, the FISA. I think because it goes both ways, and just as they used it illegally here, he can use it legally, right? because they would, it's supposed to be with foreign operators, right? And they have that 2-hop rule where you can go, from 2 people. So if they got the FISA on Trump, and then you got Macron here, and then so you had Carney here, well, they could listen to his conversation and his conversation as well. And so maybe they're using that to also, for the same reason that they're not going to take down the Smith Modernization Act. I look at that as like the Q team, essentially, right? Like, it's a PSYOP, and you're doing PSYOPs on the country, whether they're good or bad or whatever. They still are. So I look at that very much like this, like he's going to use what they used, but he can do it in a legal manner because more than likely they are talking to foreign individuals that are working with our domestic people here to do not good things for our country.
Yeah, exactly. And this would tie into these media people, maybe social media, into the, the fake news media.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious. Is that because they're protesting against that so that they don't get FISA themselves, or the FISA continues on them? As we've alluded to before, FISA works both ways, as Q said. So Trump's using that process against them.
And it's anything, it's anything that he wants to get past, they want to block, right? They're always in lockstep against him. No matter what he wants, they want to stop it, right? And so I just wish the Republicans were the Republicans in the House and Senate were more like they are as far as backing their nominee and their side, regardless of the case. But nice pause face. He's actually out here talking some of this stuff and essentially not letting this stuff go and bringing up piles of cash talking about the difference between the Obama deal and the President Trump Iran deal, essentially.
1.7 billion was taken out of the banks and given to Iran. And on top of that, tens of billions of dollars was paid. So they tried to bribe them to make a deal. That didn't work. It never works. And we've done a great job. And hopefully it's going to be a good relationship and we're going to get along. And if we don't, we go back to where we started, but I don't think that's going to be necessary. The Iran deal that we made is going to bring a lot of success to the world because the oil was really clogged up there for a while. He would call me on occasion and say, come on, please, let's go with the oil prices. But the oil is coming way down, so I'm very honored by it. I want to thank you for your help. You've always been a help. And it's an honor to be with you. We had a very good conversation yesterday with President Zelensky.
Dude, how does he have enough energy to be there? Or is that one of his doubles?
I don't think it's his double.
Or was the double at UFC last night?
No, I just think he's got that much energy. I don't know. I think
Jacking
I don't know.
There's methamphetamines.
As you get older, people out here need less sleep, but he's always said he's never gotten a whole lot of sleep. I know Lisa doesn't function, I don't think, a whole lot of sleep at one time. So
really,
usually, yeah.
Dude, that was like 1 a.m. That thing ended last night. And then he gets on a plane. And then he gets on a plane and heads over to friggin' Europe, right? It's like, what the hell?
I mean, I guess he could sleep on the plane, but they say he never sleeps on the plane. So I don't know. know. Maybe he does little naps, power naps. He's mastered that.
He had to, dude.
I don't know.
But
apparently he is an anomaly himself. So
true. What's up with the folks in the chat? What are they up to? Are they causing any ruckus out there? Gonna need a new Kenny. Said his heart has the same as a 14-year-old, or some is 14 years younger. Bamlo says, I don't think Trump has a double, and I don't think Melania has dinner with 6 Trumps at a time. I'm telling you, I think you ever see the one I'm talking about, the disheveled golfer Trump? He doesn't look like the same guy we were just looking at there.
Yeah, I saw that guy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember the actual clip. I've seen the picture. So
let me stop it if it does this immediately, which is gonna.
1.7.
All right, so I'll see if I can pull one up, because when I see him, and maybe it's just that he's not, that he's not that done up or whatever, and he's like sweaty or something like that. I don't know. No makeup, who knows? But he always looks so much more disheveled when he's golfing. Look at this dude. This is crazy. I mean, look at this. You're gonna love this. How much sleep could he have gotten? President Trump just walked out in France for a photo after leaving America at 3 a.m. Says the man is glowing, representing America with strength on the world stage yet again. G7 France, Evian. Let's see. 1 minute and 7 clip. Hey, Donald, I missed you. So nice to see you and your husband again. I mean, your wife. Dude, what do you think you think that was tense at all with the Michelle Obama comments last night and them walking up to see this one?
I don't think it was going to be mentioned unless someone brings it up.
Oh, kiss her in the cheek. Oh, good. Dude, her face just looks like it's like somebody mushed it.
She's got a wig on too, so it's strange.
Wasn't she like 40 when they hooked up or when they met the first time?
I think she was a little older, is what I've understood.
A little older. You look like she had a couple sips. Yeah, her face just looks weird. Looks like somebody took her nose and just pushed it back. Not a good looking chick in my opinion. But again, the chick part is possibly debatable. I don't know. What do you? Let's not go there. Okay, let's not do that. But dude, how does he do this stuff?
We all know the truth.
we all know what's really going on. Let me see if I can find any more. Because yeah, I mean, when I see him when he's out there golfing, he looks like he's super disheveled. Is the best way I can say it. Especially when he's wearing like the white polo shirt. If you guys know.
I mean, it's hot out and stuff. I don't know. Throws on a hat and goes golfing.
I just like a lot of this setup. I was wondering if he was going to do this for the show.
That would have been cool.
Let it go fast. He's... Put your hand out of the glove. No good. Guy's like, don't touch my head. Dude, look at the way it's holding its arm. That's cool, huh?
Almost done here. That's great.
Yeah.
I've never seen this dude. This is probably a couple years old now.
His ass.
That little part became a famous meme.
That's hilarious, dude. That is freaking hilarious. But dude, I like the way I love the way it was chilling there. It was like, what's up? Like it's got his hands like its hands up, his arms up, but its hands kind of pointed in like, yo, what up, yo? I love it, dude. And again, on the stage, I don't know if you saw the woman yesterday, but she had the eagle come across the stage, and that was pretty epic as well.
Oh, that was great. It was just an all-American show yesterday. It was awesome.
Well, I think we have to show it.
And then he's gonna have what? On the Lincoln Memorial. Is that gonna be on July 4th? He's gonna have a rally. He announced that today on the Truth.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, I got. Actually, I'm gonna pull that Truth up right after this, really quick. I never saw this version of it. How badass is that, dude? I mean, you got to have some cojones to try that.
I mean, yeah,
like the first part, right?
But
there.
there's a lot of physics involved. They have to know like their trajectory. They have to know the speed,
like when to pull back a little bit. That dude's
well,
just
then they have
buttery.
to build the ramps too. There's people that are building these ramps for these stunts. So
that dude got some air.
Good, interesting. Yeah, and that screen. Did you see the screen in the background? This is what was really kind of impressive.
Talking about this thing?
Pause it. Yeah, if you pause it.
Oh, there we go.
That's actually, I think, a printout of the front of the White House.
Oh, yeah, because you can see the pylons are right here.
That or it's translucent of some sort, because they put up those cameras or the lights.
Oh, Hulk had a clip of it last week. It was like this this type of translucent what would you call it? A film or something like that?
I've seen that, but I don't think they did that for this. Did they?
To me, I think your first guess would be more correct.
Yeah.
Because it looks to me like you can see the pylon right here. If I was to go straight down, it would be right here. And then this pylon's basically in the middle of these two.
That's pretty impressive to have that printout up.
Yeah, no, I didn't even
to
notice
scale. That. Yeah. Well, someone pointed it out, I think, online, and I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive.
Oh my god.
And genius, and genius at the same time, because it makes it great for pictures.
I'm looking for something right now, but I'm seeing what's allegedly a UFO video from 1994. I'm looking for something else for you guys. This is Bill Gates' psycho account. I'm trying to find something else here right now, so just bear with me for a second. But it says it's filmed in 94, dude, so, can you fake something then? I mean, obviously you could take a recording of it and edit it now. That wouldn't be difficult, but I think
this one was proven to be genuine.
Genuine, huh? Okay, I have not seen it. They said as they're filming, something comes out of the water and flies away.
I think there's two of them that are on a boat that are pretty famous. I don't know. This one, I know what this one is. This one's genuine. Pretty wild.
Now, is that the sun or is that the object? I can't tell. Maybe, do I need sound?
Just keep letting it play.
What the hell?
We're either being surrounded by friggin' UFOs or the Coast Guard. I want us in. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 lights we see there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Dude, you see that they were like a lot closer together, and it looked like. So is that turned into that?
We're either being surrounded by friggin' UFOs.
I'd never seen this one, to be honest with you. Have you?
Yeah, I have. It's
and you
been
think
around.
This one's
I've
legit
seen it.
or known to be legit?
Yeah, this one's known to be legit.
That's crazy, dude.
So, like, the ones we're going to see from the government are either going to be reports or they're going to have, like, probably military through instrumentation. I don't, we're not going to see, like, unless they'll do, like, military spots where military people have captured it. I don't know. But for the most part, I think they're looking for scientific data and so forth. So, a lot of the monitoring devices we use.
Check this one out, dude. Speaking of UFOs, I'm not going to play the video. I'm just going to let you guys see the post. Remember David Icke? Went on Wogan, told everybody he was Jesus Christ, and then we was laughed off stage, but then did a lot of really good truth stuff. But he says, I just watched the Spielberg film Disclosure Day that came out in England this afternoon. Psyop. But I also thought this was funny, dude. Did you hear Steven Spielberg talking about it and him being a government plant?
Yeah, he denies it.
Let's take a listen here. Come on, and remember, he's looking weird now too, dude. He's looking. Why are these guys all starting to look like more female when they get older for some reason? I don't know. But here we go. Let's listen to the old Steven Spielberg. And remember, at the end of the commercial for it, he's like, I just want everybody to know that this stuff is real. So, yeah, they're pushing it out there. Let's see what this says for loudness.
I'm not a plant of the Pentagon or the government or any deep state contracting company. I'm literally a filmmaker that wanted to tell this story for many, many years. And but I had no idea that things were going to start to be disclosed, just as Disclosure Day was about to be disclosed. This started with my father taking me to see a meteor shower and introducing me to the sky at night when I was 5 years old. And I never stopped wondering about what's out there ever since.
Okay.
Humanity, empathy, believing in something we can't see, making the unknown more known to people. I'm not a plant of the Pentagon or the government or any deep state contracting company. I'm literally a filmmaker that wanted to tell this story for many, many years.
Yeah, he's got inside info though. Like, I just looked up. It's not based on. He wrote the script. I think he wrote it 42 different times.
Really?
And yeah, and then just the insight, the choosing what storyline to choose in telling the story. We had. I explained it last week how the government's been involved in a lot of these kind of UFO disclosure or military movies.
Oh, 100%.
Or like intelligence agencies or cults and stuff like that. So he's part of the old guard. I'm gonna go see the movie. I'll take it with a grain of salt. I think a lot of people are getting upset about it for some reason. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'll definitely. I'll probably wait till it comes out on.
I mean, E.T. was a great movie, but I think this might bring in the religious aspect, and some people might not like it.
Yeah. Let me see here. I got interesting.
I might not even like it. We'll see.
Where was I? Oh, what the hell was I just going to show you here? I was trying to find what I was starting to look for. Hulk had this clip the other day, But essentially what it was this translucent film, this translucent, best I can describe it, like a piece of cardboard or something like that, but it literally blocks stuff.
Old Asian guy. There was an old Asian video of a guy holding up like a tarp, and it would look like nobody was behind the tarp. But that's only on camera. Like in real life, I'm not sure if that's true. I know if you use a camera, you'll show up translucent. You know what I mean? It's just manipulation, bending light.
Yeah, you're bending light around things, but yeah, it's crazy. And in the video, he had two different ones, but let's just say like see this line and then this line here. The guy had like two monitors, and he was doing like a racing simulator, and he said, "Oh, I just want to get some tape to basically block the blackout." So he got some of this translucent tape, and he put it over it, and all of a sudden that black, the border from like a monitor was no longer there. It actually blended right into the next one next to it. So it does, it does what it says, and I'm guessing it's not cheap either, but definitely cool technology. And I'm wondering what else they got out there that they're not sharing with us. Let's see, what else do we need to get into here? You guys aren't going to like this one, but I don't know, dude. I don't know if we're going to need it or if he's going to be doing something with an executive order on some of this stuff here. But listen to this for a second, 25 seconds.
It's backed around, sometimes perhaps not fully grasp around the country, but anybody who follows this process closely knows that we don't have the votes. And the only way that you could figure out a way to get the votes, and even in that case, the Save America Act didn't even get 50 votes last week on the floor of the Senate. But even if you confine it to, it's a well-known.
So they don't want to attach the Save America Act. And basically he's telling Trump no. He says, listen to Trump is a win. It's a simple equation, Thune. And so for whatever reason, this guy doesn't want to push forth this Save America Act at all. But my question will remain, do we need it? Because, for the last couple of elections, wasn't President Trump like 37, 38-0 or something ridiculous?
Yeah. And he got more votes this past week. So what are you saying? Well, we need this passed before the next election. So like we need him. That's what he's trying to push for it to be for the midterms, correct?
Yeah, I think as soon as possible for sure. But yeah.
So they put that with the reconciliation bill. They only need 50 votes then. And what Thune is Thune saying they don't have that vote?
You basically could. Yeah, you could win it with 50 or 51 votes rather than having to have the 60 votes majority or whatever.
Yeah, J.D. Vance would be the tiebreaker. Yeah. And then they're going to put the FISA in there. So, yeah, let's do it. But Thune, is he a rhino?
I would say for sure.
Yeah.
Rhino piece of crap.
He's always the creepy guy in the background, tall, creepy guy in the background.
Tall,
I don't know if you've ever noticed that he's always in the background and they have these pressers and he's always the guy. I don't know why it's him, but he's there.
He's like Lutnick a few years ago.
Or Pelosi would talk, he'd be in the background or somebody, it just is weird.
Well, it's true. It's true. But remember what Gavin Newsom was saying? This is about me, and remember he pointed double at the camera when he said, "My wife, she's done nothing. She's done nothing but help children and girls, right? She's done nothing wrong, bro." Let's see if she done nothing wrong. Openthebooks.com.
What's the saying? Money doesn't lie.
The money doesn't lie. Let's see. Girls Club Entertainment for Profit Company. Profits, founder and owner, Jennifer Seibel Newsom, first partner. $1.5 million salary. What does this mean? 3 to the third power? 1.5 million to the third power?
It's a footnote at the bottom. There should be a really small print.
Let me see. Oh, screenshot of revenues. Source, IRS 990s. Okay, so they got the source was the IRS 990s. And so the other ones, number one says screening revenues via IRS 990s is footnote number one. Number two is TRP will not provide a breakdown of the revenues from California schools. So $1.5 million, the representation project, nonprofit organization, $1.6 million payout since 2012 includes $150,000 annual contracting fee since 2018. Chief Creative Officer and Founder. So she's the Chief Creative Officer and Founder of the Representation Project and also the founder of Girls Club Entertainment. Gavin Newsom, state funding, $128 billion for for schools and community colleges signed in 2022. Curriculum, movies, lessons plans, up to $1.4 million in film screening revenues. So it's not looking like, maybe this is all by the books type of stuff, dude. I don't know. But I'm guessing not, would be my guess.
Correct.
What do they say? Something about a tree, apples fall far from the tree and stuff like that?
I think the Palisades even falls into their little scheme. Well, his wife.
Very well could be. California political consultant and former public official charged with conspiracy to commit fraud and obstruct justice, false statements, and tax crimes. Dana Williamson's, Governor Newsom's former chief of staff, pled guilty to 3 felonies in May. Bank and wire fraud, false tax returns, false statements to federal agents. The investigation actually began under the Biden administration, this person is saying here. Andrew Follett, senior analyst, Club for Growth, celebrity scientist. Him and his wife are subject of a federal investigation because he's considering a run for president, and Trump has called out President Trump for his corruption. Newsom, in recent days, blah, 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 we've heard this. Let's see. I need to either find something or I needed to find something to play Mac for a minute or two, but I have to hit the little men's room. So maybe you want to read some comments from the chat for a second. Give me like a minute or so.
Where am I looking in the chat?
Anywhere. Just say hello to the chats. Or I could play a video if you want. That would take, a minute or so. I could do
You got a video?
Well, I could find one for sure. Let's see.
I got a bunch.
Oh my God. Well, this is 2 minutes. Yeah, this is a Joe Rogan thing talking about fraud, and it's about 2 minutes, so this will give me ample time. And it is, again, right in line with what we're talking about, fraud. Listen to this. $45 billion in profit. America's nonprofit hospitals rake in $45 billion in profit. How about that, dude? That's crazy. Come on, Joe. Whoop.
Congressman recently described some nonprofit hospitals as hedge funds with hospital beds.
Persons say that nonprofit hospitals were like hedge funds with hospital beds, and I was like, I bet they are. What's going on here? Because in the United States, more than half of our hospitals are nonprofits. But the hospital world doesn't feel very non-profity. And then I read this article by Scott Hodge in the Washington Post that talked about how they need to be taxed. And it turns out that the total revenues of nonprofit hospitals in America in 2023, so 3 years ago, was $1.3 trillion. And it turns out that they're getting a bunch of taxpayer money. In fact, 3 years ago, so this is probably a lot more now, nonprofit hospitals were making $45 billion worth of profit. And as I mentioned, we taxpayers give them a bunch of money. In fact, in 2021, we gave them $38 billion. $11.5 billion of it because they don't have to pay any taxes. And that was 5 years ago. So this is probably more like $60 billion now. And the reason that we hypothetically give them this money as taxpayers is because they're supposed to do charity. But there was a study that looked at almost 1,500 nonprofit hospitals and found that 86% of them provided little or no charity. And that's because almost everybody that goes to hospitals has insurance. It's either private health insurance or insurance from the government. Only 3% of people don't have health insurance, and it's not like the hospitals give them a deal. Turns out that the government was checking this out around 2009. The hospitals spun up a lobbying campaign and got any requirements that would basically define what kind of charity they would have to do squashed. So now it's kind of the honor system. So I was like, where are those billions of dollars going that the nonprofit hospitals make in profits? Turns out it goes to executives, like these CEOs who are getting paid about $4.5 million a year. Meanwhile, their nurses make about $70K. $4.5 million a year here. Apparently management consultants getting billions of dollars from nonprofit hospitals. And here's a guy, Robert, at a hospital in New York who paid himself $15.3 million a year. Nonprofit hospital. And there are really good nonprofit hospitals that are primarily funded by donations and serve low-income families and people in need.
Dude, how crazy is that, Mac? And I've been saying
time.
Yeah, I've been saying it for years. It's like, for me, every time I see the word nonprofit, I think, oh, must be a multimillionaire or a billionaire.
Yeah, it's not what they thought it was going to be, which I don't think it was. The true intention was for nonprofit. It was to profit. So,
oh yeah,
because you only have to. The rules are 10%. You have to use 10%.
10% for the big guy.
Yeah, that's it.
Let me see. You had put one. Oh, you had put this one up earlier, and I made sure to pull this up, and I got the attaching one to go with it as well. Maybe make it a little bit bigger here, I guess. Ding, 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 ding. So, you would put this one in the chat. A few Democrats are against FISA with or without Bill Pulte going to DNI as acting. What kind of a deal is that? Besides, I'm against FISA if it doesn't come with the Save America Act full version firmly attached to it. Make America great again. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. And you also had, I believe, another graphic that went with it, or a post.
Just hit to the right.
No. I preloaded these ones. Aha. Hopefully I got the right one next to it, right?
Yeah, you did. You got it. And it just matched a Delta Q post as acting in there, and trust in the person's name because of whoever the acting is. So right now it's Pulte.
Oh, dude,
Pulte.
remember he said that last week too.
Yeah.
That was actually in one of his posts. One of his True Social posts from last week, was saying, well, why are you hiring Bill Pulte? Because I trust him.
There you go.
So, I mean, dude, does that line up? Acting, trust. Yeah, I trust Pulte. That's why I'm hiring him. Trust name, acting, right? Military op, green, FISA.
Oh, and then in that whole quote there, it explains some stuff. If you want to read it, it's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Drinking my little bit of balance here. It says, quote, the succession question is actually a bit complicated. By default, under an obscure statute known as the Vacancies Reform Act of 1998, Brand, which I think was Rachel Brand back then, temporary successor as the, quote, acting associate attorney general is her principal deputy, Jesse Panuccio. That same statute would also allow the president to choose someone else to serve as the acting AAG on a temporary basis for up to 210 days. The pool of individuals from which the president could draw in this case includes individuals already holding Senate-confirmed positions elsewhere in the executive branch, like EPA Administrator Scott Pruitt, or senior civil service lawyers in the Justice Department specifically. So yeah, you get people that are already Senate confirmed for one job and you plop them in another, just like they did with Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and the other org that he's running. And now he's going to be, the acting DNI, or I don't know, is he going to be? Because now this guy Clayton's coming in, right? So I'm kind of confused. Is he going to be the assistant?
I think that's what Trump is showing his game plan. Like, you either let in Bill or I got Clayton. And so it's kind of he's toying with them. You know what I mean? Trolling them. Well, why won't you? He's an outsider too, like big time.
This guy.
So,
was it Jay Clayton? Yeah. Wait, hold on. I want to give you wrong information.
Clayton's not, but Pulte is, and he. That's why he was, truthing out. What are they scared of? What are they afraid of? What will Bill find out? So.
Yeah. Okay. This is why I'm reading. All right. Let me give. I'll pull this up on screen here. I was reading it incorrectly for a second there. That's why I actually popped. There we go. Here you go, sir. Pleased to announce the nomination of very highly respected Jay Clayton, former chairman of the SEC, former head of Sullivan and Cromwell, one of the most prominent and successful law firms anywhere in the world, and the current U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, to be the next Director of National Intelligence, and, importantly, to serve in my cabinet. Few people anywhere in the legal community are respected at the levels of Jay. I encourage the United States Senate to confirm him as soon as possible. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So, looks like he's going to be, and I think you may be correct, you know, it's going to be like, all right, do you want Pulte or you want Clayton? Like, choose your fate, perhaps?
Yeah, but it sounds like he's moving forward with Clayton, I guess, after they've rejected Pulte, maybe. But he's going to be in his cabinet, which is amazing because then they can update him. That's very interesting.
Trust. Where was it? Was it a video that he said that or a post? I don't remember, but I know President Trump 100% said that he hired Pulte because he trusts him, and he's done good work for me in the past. Let me see. I think I got another picture or two up here. Free Iran, we already did that one. Oh, I think I missed my cue on this one earlier, but there you go, buddy. I missed my spot on this one earlier, but phase 3, you had took the screenshot of, and again, is it some sort of a sting operation that's going on there? I think it is, dude. I really do.
I've been saying it for a long time. It's a huge trap.
Just the way he's been talking, especially this last week, you know?
Yeah, and that's how military does operate, surveilling. You know, they know that criminal activity is going on. Sometimes they can do something about it, sometimes they can't. So they can just watch.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, they're networking. They can network out. Space Force becomes a huge, intricate part of this. And they're building a whole new system, too, in the background. They have been. But I totally agree with you. This is a huge trap.
It's coming. I mean, he said, "You think
Yeah.
that was it?" And then it was interesting when he was talking about go ahead and certify your demon, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing all these nominees, seeing how the people are really voting now. They're Trump candidates. If the fraudulent votes were still in place, we'd see a lot more Democrats winning. So I always take it back to that United States Postal Service patent for the securing of paper ballot elections. So based off of blockchain. And then President Trump bringing up the Postal Service just recently, saying that he's holding back all mail-in ballots from all states that have not given their voter rolls up yet. So he's in control of the post office. That's a huge clue about patent being in play too, knowing that the elections are going in favor of not fraud, like they're true elections.
Yeah, on the up and up like they should be. Yeah.
Yes.
So
California is notoriously not participating and giving up their voter rolls, or they're huge fraud states. New York, another one. So we're seeing it all play out, and it's fantastic. We're moving in a very positive direction. I'm loving the fraud department, just cleaning up all these criminals. We're gonna see our country get rebuilt, with all this money coming back inside the country. It's going to be there's a lot of potholes out there, I'll tell you what.
There sure is. And I really liked the beginning of, I think it was the day before when they did the weigh-ins for the UFC. They had the band out there doing the, not taps, but they were playing some other song there. And it gave me almost like a flashback of Americana back then, because it was a clean DC, and I don't know, it just gave me a flashback of kind of growing up, you know what I mean? I want that country back, but I don't know if we'll ever get that way of life back, which would be great.
They had the military band playing, and I think he made a reference to that for the 4th of July post that we'll come to, but he was able to get around, which is fantastic. It's a live performance, so they can play copyrighted songs. So they all came out to those because you don't think those artists would allow possibly for President Trump to play the original song as they come out. So it was a creative way of getting around it using that.
Oh,
It was
definitely.
cool. And it sounded great.
Oh, I like the renditions were definitely pretty cool. Army Counterintelligence Command comes out, says the secret's out. It's the Army's 251st birthday. Over 2.5 centuries, this will defend. Happy birthday, U.S. Army. Because remember, they were apparently an army before we were a country. 250th birthday, baby. And another one that kind of goes to this, and I think this goes with Matrix's Templar thing, because I think they started on June 24th of like 1717 or something like that. But President Trump from earlier this morning, Wednesday, June 24th, will be the kickoff of our summer-long celebration of 250 years of American independence. Come and enjoy a night filled with beautiful music from our talented U.S. Army and Marine Corps military bands. Only the hits that you know and love. The highly gifted Christopher Macchio and our friend Lee Greenwood performing the greatest hit of all time, God Bless the USA. You'll also bear witness to the impressive military flyovers featuring precision fighter jets and stealth bombers, which will be flown by our U.S. military pilots, who have proven to be the most elite pilots anywhere in the world. This patriotic tribute will take place on the main stage at the Freedom 250 Great American State Fair, located on our majestic National Mall in what is now one of the safest cities in the world, Washington, D.C., which we are beautifying to levels never seen before. See you at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday, June 24th. We're going to have fun and celebrate America. President DJT. So, dude, on Wednesday? Well, you going to have this big party on a Wednesday? People got to go to work the next day, no?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's weird, right? Like,
and that June 24th, 1717, that was a Freemasons lodge. I don't know if it was. I don't believe it was a Templar lodge.
I'd have to.
Like the Templars predate that. They go back at least to the 1300s.
Oh, yeah. I might not have got the year right, but I'm pretty sure the June 24th.
It was 224, 1717. It's the London Freemasons Lodge.
Ah, okay, nice. I have to go back in my notes.
There's some other stuff that occurred on June 24th. Henry VIII was crowned King of England in 1509. Adoption of France's first Republican Constitution in 1793. Yeah, the Freemasons, the start of King Philip's War, 1675. And then some other stuff, but yeah.
Henry VIII, I am. Henry VIII, I am. And what day is 4th of July on this year? Are we on a week? Oh, good. 4th of July is on a Saturday.
Oh, nice. There's Scottish forces led by Robert the Bruce defeated Edward II of England at Battle of Bannockburn.
The Scottish, you say, huh?
Yeah, Italian explorer John Cabot made the first recorded European sighting of North America. Landing
my homeland.
In what is now Newfoundland.
Newfoundland.
Yeah. This is hilarious. Now, did you ever see the cop go down that?
No.
Uh-oh. So you got to see the cop. He got
cop
called
goes on this line?
Yeah, and they were saying that it was unsafe, and he gave it a test run, and the result was hilarious when he when he did it. So this guy did a tribute to it with his bagpipes.
Oh God. Let me see. Let me see.
I don't know if you can find it.
Well, let me see. Cop slide, that'll come up. Boston residents complained about a dangerous playground slide, but a cop decided to check its safety. Oh, yeah. It's like a metal one. Yeah, it's the same one. Okay.
I got it right here if you need it.
Gotcha. Let's see. Oh, my God.
Why was it so...
Oh my word.
Why was it so
Yeah, why was it so fast? Does it go around a corner here? I mean, geez, dude, that is just... Dude, he's like... he looks like a rag doll, essentially, right there. Like, right here. Oh, God.
He has some serious speed.
Oh, he's going to have some friggin' road rash there for sure. Ooh,
we call that shower burn.
Oh, dude. Nah, I think I maybe seen that before, but man, I will never forget that again.
Playing baseball back in the day, we'd call it shower burn. Because when you get in
burn.
that shower, it burns so bad.
My baseball coach growing up, it was actually pretty funny. He used to, whenever anybody would get hurt, he'd say, rub some dirt on it. Like, oh, my legs hurt. Shut up, rub some dirt on it.
The old timers.
He was definitely an old timer. All right, dude. We are getting a little long in the tooth this evening. Are we missing anything that we need to make sure we get out to the folks before we shut down episode 213?
Another big hint: things are changing. TMZ flipped. Did you see that?
Oh shit! I had that. I had it in my notes. Where the hell is it? I had it.
I reminded you.
There we go. Oh, and I even had some Oliver Tree, which I never knew who this dude was, bro. But yeah, dude, I like the fact that this. Hopefully this idiot doesn't make me have to cut it out of YouTube later.
I want to talk about Donald Trump. But before I do, I want to say something about the UFC fights last night at the White House. The people who are complaining that this is beneath the dignity of the White House are such elitists. It's just shocking to me that every president has held events at the White House. There have been presidents who loved plays, and people have put plays on at the White House. There has been opera at the White House. There have been great singers at the White House. And the reality is, fighting is part of American culture, like it or not. Millions and millions of people like it. And Donald Trump gave them access to the White House last night with an event that aligns with what goes on in American culture. UFC is huge in America right now. And people loved it. A lot of people didn't, but a lot of people did. And the idea of saying this is beneath the dignity of the White House, I think just speaks to how out of touch people are thinking that, yeah, we can hold events at the White House that are culturally things that I sign off on, but not things I don't. That is intolerant. What happened at the White House last night was fine. Okay, that said, I have been away for a week. And I came back over the weekend, and I was watching all these political pundits who were saying that Donald Trump is doing and not doing things that are going to cost Republicans in the midterms dearly, especially when it comes to the cost of living. And they think the White House has made a gigantic miscalculation. I think Donald Trump is exactly on the course he wants, to create what he believes will be a legacy that has absolutely nothing to do with the cost of living. It is a legacy about power and strength. Donald Trump has never been conventionally presidential. He is a builder by training with an ego the size of the Trump Tower.
Backing off.
He reveled in having his name plastered on just about every building he ever built. I will tell you a story that I know this, that before Donald Trump became president, when he was working at a Trump Tower, he would point out the window to visitors and say, that's my building, look at my name on that building. He loved it, so it is on brand. So what looks to a lot of people like a distraction, which is, tearing down the East Wing, building a ballroom, an arch, trying to insinuate himself on the wall of the Kennedy Center, having an airport named after him, turning the White House into a gold-plated spectacle. That is not a distraction. That is the plan. That is who Donald Trump is. He wants George Washington presence in this country, in D.C. and elsewhere. He wants that stamp. He's not relying on other people to accomplish it posthumously. He is doing it himself now.
Interesting turn of events, huh?
Yeah, I mean, he kind of went back on what he said, and then he went back again to, it's very interesting to see how people are starting to get it, especially in the news. Love this guy. Yeah, it's nice. I'm hoping to see a full swing, but we'll see.
Somebody told me that this guy they were like, I guess he does music that they're in a lot of shorts or something like that. He's like, trust me, you've heard his music.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, he's a different dude. I remember.
You think?
Yeah, I remember seeing his stuff come out, but he explained in an interview. I don't know if I put it in the chat or not.
I got two different ones.
All right, well, let's play this, and then if we don't, then I'll swing back to his background. Just remind me.
All right. Let's see what we got
I just
here.
got word that my album is no longer coming out. Love You Madly, Hate You Badly is officially canceled, and I'm parting ways with Atlantic Records. Behind the scenes has been nothing short of a nightmare. I have no marketing budgets for music videos, no digital ad spend. Nobody really cares in the building, it seems like. I made a lot of money for Atlantic Records, and they don't seem to remember that. I have gotten no support. They forgot to ingest multiple songs into the system, which means the songs didn't come out. I had a Valentine's Day breakout song that didn't even get released because someone forgot to put it in. I don't really understand how that's possible. I've made them tens of millions of dollars, but they don't remember that. So, the music is owned by them. The remainder of the music will not be coming out. I will always continue to make music. Thank you for everyone who supported me. I can't wait to release more music at some point at a later time, but for now, there is nothing on the horizon. I'm so sorry. I love you guys.
Dude, that looks like fake hair. It looks like it's darker than this, but it's probably because of the light or whatever, but probably just freshly cut it. It's just so weird.
Well, that and he dyes his hair. But yeah, he's an interesting dude. He in another interview, he's like, and he's portrayed it in some of them.
This one?
That I don't know, that he died in a helicopter accident.
Yeah. In Brazil, I think.
If the other one that I'm talking about, an interview of his background, I guess he became an addict and a drug dealer, and then he got clean and he found music, and he believes in, expressing yourself through creating music. He talked about traveling the world and using money to travel the world to inspire him to make more music based on the people and not like on the culture of the music industry, basically. So,
happen to be this one?
No, but all of them are interesting at this point because he just passed away. And
this is the first one for me. So it says Oliver Tree. So I'm watching this fresh with you guys for the first time. Oliver Tree posted this video, then his helicopter suddenly crashed. So I have no idea what he's going to say, but let's take a listen to Oliver Tree and his Kiss attire.
I left my record label. Let's talk about it. After making tens of millions of dollars over 8 years for Atlantic Records, they no longer want to support my art because I'm not making songs for TikTok. And after dedicating my entire life to making art, I never got into this to make TikTok songs. I know the effects of TikTok. I've had multiple songs that connected there, but that's not why I got into making art. Over the last 2.5 years, I traveled 82 countries and recorded this album on all 7 continents. These are the types of projects that charge me as an artist. This is why I got into it in the first place. And just because I'm not making songs for TikTok means that the label doesn't want to support the vision. Well, guess what? I don't give a shit. And after you guys have joined together in tens of thousands and sent messages to the label, we have officially reached a negotiation over the past course of a week. My team has got the label to agree to release Love You Madly, Hate You Badly on my personal imprint, Alien Boy Records. Guys, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. This music is finally going to see daylight. So support your local indie artists and go pre-order my album. April 24th is the official date. Love you all.
Oh, a little issue with his band. It didn't say it in the interview, Mac. It says here, though, interview of Oliver Tree's currently resurfacing of him talking about how Atlantic Records joked with him one time and told him that if he ever leaves them, he might leave this earth, but they claimed they were joking around. Ever since I left them, I had this weird feeling. This one he actually did say. I think it's this one or the other one where they're talking about the first one. they didn't actually say what was in the first video here. In this video, because I did play it, but he says that they wanted him to sign a contract with Blood. He declined and then threatened him and told him he will die soon. They told me if I'm not signing the contract, I've got 2 weeks left, which we didn't hear that in this video, just for the record. So, don't know. I mean, we've heard this in the past that people, they could be taken out, and if they can't be controlled, and if you're not controlling them or their assets, their money pipeline, then they're no good for you. You just take them right out, right? And then you can get their rights later, perhaps.
Yeah, it's sign your life away, as they say. They allude to it all the time, so they actually do it. Prince changed. Remember, he went by that symbol and no longer Prince. Oh, that was one of the reasons.
Oh yeah. Yep, because he was perpetuity, right?
Remember Chongqing in the Q posts?
Chongqing, China?
Yeah, it's called Chongqing. And there's a video of Oliver Tree at Chongqing, about a minute long. Bottom of the chat.
Ching. Here we go.
Got the link there.
Oh, let me see here. Cha-ching. That's not the right one. That's saved messages. Here we go. Oh, God. Here we go.
I've just arrived to the craziest city on Earth, and you probably never even heard about it. This is Chongqing, China, where they have trains that go through apartment buildings, gas stations on top of roofs, and skyscraper restaurants floating on the river. Oh, and also the deepest subway in the world. It's 672 stories down, and it took me 2 hours and 45 minutes just to get to the bottom. They call Chongqing Spicy Mountain City because they're famous for their hot pot that uses the hottest Szechuan ghost peppers in the world, which they also dip exotic insects in. Averaging at 1 million Scoville heat units, it's enough to numb your mouth and send you into a coma. So good luck finding your way around town. Here I think I'm on the ground floor, right? Wrong. Because if you go to one side, you'll see you're on level 1. And if you go to the other side of the square, you're now on level 69. And if you think walking around this city is confusing, try driving. One wrong turn on these roads and you're cooked, fam. You might even find yourself accidentally entering the garage that is 500 miles to the bottom. Yes, I'm still driving down as I post this video.
What the hell? 500 miles down, and that one, dude, 2 hours to the top?
The other side of the square, you're
2 hours and 45 minutes to the top of this thing?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you can't, if they grow and build everything on the ground level like this, everything's stacked up and completely jammed up, the only place to go is underneath after that. So, wowza. Yeah, that's crazy, dude. And
it's
again,
it's a wild city. I've looked into it because of the Q post, and it's like, I think they want to become a smart city if they're not already one. That kind of stuff.
I've never heard one of this guy's songs. Have you? Like, what?
Yeah, they're pretty trash, but
What are they, like parody things,
was,
like comedy?
He was a popular artist. Just go to YouTube, look up Oliver Tree. See what comes up.
Ugly is Beautiful, Cowboy Tit. Oh, here we go. So at least this will play at least a couple of them. So
I didn't really recognize many of them.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, again, I don't know. Oh, damn. I've heard that beat before. Yeah, it's almost like it's like an artist that's meant for shorts. You know what I mean? Like these songs that people add into like their short videos and whatnot. That always annoy me because people have to put in this stupid sound to it that I always hate. But, all right. All right, gonna say some thank yous over here, sir. Let me close these ones off. But we're running in at approximately 2 hours and 54 minutes, and it's telling me, without the benefit of pilled reporting, we got about 1,300 bots watching us right now. And if you're not a bot, you can say hello in the comments and say what's up. Let me get this over here. I'm going to go over to thepilled.net, a.k.a. Foxhole. where I am thanking One Thunder. Thank you for the can there, sir. No message on there, but thank you. Brewbark gifted the cookie, says HRC convinced France to use their air force to assist in the overthrow of Gaddafi. Libya's silver went to France. Hillary is laundering Libya's gold through Haiti, her brother's contract. Oh, I wouldn't doubt that. And even up to a few years ago, people were saying that you couldn't do anything in Haiti without the okay from the Clintons. And then the last one over here is Brewbark dropped another cookie. Says Trump has put the oil market under the microscope. If he's smuggling millions of barrels out, why did prices go up? Ah, good point. And thank you for that, Brewbark and One Thunder over there. I'm releasing such scratchings. And then
Quick
there
answer on that.
Yeah, go for it, buddy.
It takes a little while to get to the to the United States and distributed, or to wherever the destination is. So it's coming. The oil prices just went down, like you said, Space Shot. A lot of it is also the futures, what people believe the oil prices are going to be. So there is some emotion dialed into the cost of what gas is, unfortunately. And then you also have OPEC. So they're a little bit of a cartel.
A little bit, right? Just a little bit. Mr. MacGyver dropped a $2 super chat on YouTube earlier when we were playing the Trump and the Eagle clip there. He says they should have put a Trump hat on the Eagle. Yeah, that would have been hilarious. And then the Racoonters report has rated us. And then Jason Holmes, am I going to be rating you or the Racoonters report? Just put that in the chat. And I will absolutely raid over to you when we're done over here. Mr. Mac, any final thoughts for the ladies and gentlemen out there? Because I think we're about to see some more amazing stuff as we keep going here, up until 4th of July at least. I think we're going to get some more yummy stuff, but I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to, like I said, with Tulsi coming out, there's going to be hopefully some D-class more. But with the June 24th, we had Roe v. Wade in 2022 was overturned. That's pretty big. There were some civil rights victories, but I just wanted to add that little tidbit as a quick side note, because that was an important delta on June 24th. But couple additional quick points were, you mentioned that we were secretly shipping the oil, so don't need to mention that. And there were some executive orders Trump signed, so I recommend going back over that, somewhere AI, which, he made a point that it's giving back to the people. I had a clip on that, but we're getting a little long in the tooth, as you said. And that's about it. I really appreciate you having me on as usual, Space Shot, and can't believe it's 213 episodes. Thanks to the mods, and really appreciate everybody who tunes in. We'd appreciate a thumbs up if you so are inclined. Yeah. And looking forward to catching up next week, see what happens.
Yeah, can't wait to see what's going to be next. I mean, but it all seems like it keeps circling the bowl, right? Like they keep talking about all these different topics and things, and it seems like the time in between they keep talking about it keeps shortening, right? So like Crossfire Hurricane, the election stuff, the fraud stuff, it's just more and more and more, faster and faster is how I'm seeing it anyway. So, but again, time is 1,000,000% flying around like crazy for me. And I think most people in the chat agree too. They're like, yeah, time seems like it's flying. So I don't know what's up with that, but I'm here for it, and we're here to report on that stuff. I will be back. New time for tomorrow, guys, so that way I can now say Saturday, Sunday, 1 p.m. and Monday, Tuesday, 7 p.m. So I will be back with Ghost, Mike, and Armando tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. Eastern. I wanted to thank the mods out there. I do appreciate your help greatly, helping myself and many others out there along the way. And Mac, great show as usual, brother. And I think that's
Yes, sir.
it. Yeah, I think that's it. The mods. I got everybody else. So yeah, tomorrow 7 p.m. Eastern. Come join us if you guys are available. And as we say, we do appreciate each and every one of you wonderful world patriots for tuning in out there. And until that next one, thumbs up, like, and subscribe. Peace.
Something special is happening in here. That's right, it's brackets and jackets, bringing it back for brackets and jackets. Special Epstein Island edition. That's right, folks, Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein, the man with the island, which is suspiciously close to Haiti. That's right. You see this man, Jeffrey Epstein, is funding lots of people. He's funding lots of people on the street to make sure his shit doesn't get out. That's right. They want the record sealed. And they're paying a lot of people. Epstein's paying a lot of people. Oh, boy. For one, he's got a whole Mossad media matrix in America. And I would bet you anything that Alex Jones is one of them. Prove me wrong. That's right, Cappy's in the portal. Cappy's in the portal. Cappy's in the building with songs about Epstein. It's Breakfast Jacket's Epstein edition. Guys, I had some epiphanies today. I had some real big epiphanies about some guys. A big network of guys and spies and lies and liars. All right, think about this for a minute, okay? The guy in Portland, the scientist that just got busted for producing CP, that guy is 1 degree of separation away from Epstein. Epstein, the investor that lives in West Palm Beach, Florida. I know a guy who lives in West Palm Beach, Florida as well. Investor as well. Also involved as well. And all is not well with these guys. The Florida boys, the Glow boys, the Scott Israels of the world. You see, Epstein is Hillary Clinton. And Epstein is Haiti. And Epstein is a big network of media assets. By the way, did you know that Steve Bannon was going to that guy for money? Also, Epstein is Epstein Oprah. Epstein is Chris Tucker. You remember him. Epstein is also Kevin Spacey. Epstein is also Prince Andrew. Epstein is also... Who else is Epstein? Who else is Epstein? Tell me. You guys know? Who else is Epstein? Is Epstein Big Pharma? Is Epstein Bryan Singer? Is Epstein Naomi Campbell? Yep, all of the above. All of the above. Who is Epstein? Epstein is the keystone of a whole motherfucking matrix. And once you pull it out, it all falls down. Dersh was there too. That's right, we're dropping red pills every day. And red pills in the best kind of way. This is brackets and jackets for the denizens of islands.
Yeah.